Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to Stamford Bridge podcast.
I still don't consent to that.
I will push this until it becomes a successful narrative.
Okay. Yeah, well, hello, nice to see you.
I will die on this fucking hill.
Just like your ancestors.
That was uncalled for.
Oh, was it?
That was deeply uncalled for.
Yeah, so was the invasion from Norway, to be honest.
Actually, no. Your old king promised us the crown. That was justified.
Yeah, that's such a bullshit narrative. That's exactly what William said. Why would the confessor do that?
Listen, he was rather generous with his heritage, it turns out. He promised it to a lot of people.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Which, to be fair, you know, it led to the most effective candidate winning, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give William the Conqueror his due. He was a complete maniac who was going to kill anyone who stood in his way.
Yeah, exactly the kind of thing you'd want for a ruler.
Yeah, to be fair.
Worked out pretty well for the British Empire.
No one ever accused him of being ineffective, did they? So
they did not. Now, our first little bit of levity today. I don't know. Klaus Schwab might be getting accused of being ineffective now.
Well, I mean, you know, wasn't the WEF getting something like £83 million or dollars or whatever from the Americans?
Probably.
I've seen various. I'm sure it's something like 80 plus million, and it's like Jesus. Can't even imagine getting that much money.
Let's see. And the best part is they don't even consider that a whole lot, do they? Like here, just from like a couple of years ago, new initiative to help unlock $3 trillion needed a year for climate and nature.
Oh yeah.
These people operate on a completely different level than anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to hand it to them, really.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is a grift so effective that you have trouble believing the scale of it.
Absolutely. They have the sheer unadulterated balls to just go out there and say, we're going to need $3 trillion of everybody else's money.
It's for a good cause. Trust us, bro.
Yeah. It'll make sure that the sun stays sunny and the grass stays green.
Yeah. It'll give us all this money and we'll make sure the polar caps don't melt. It's like, oh, really? I mean, it's literally, I've got a bridge to sell you. It's just in Antarctica. I'll see the fucking balls on these people.
And I love AI. I absolutely love AI because AI has given us music videos like this now here.
Amazing.
I love it. It's beautiful. It's even fairly catchy too.
You know, that's one of the problems with AI music is it actually can be quite good. And it's like, oh no. You know, all of human life can be reduced to algorithms. Fuck. That's not good.
Well, that's the interesting thing, isn't it? Because you know how before AI started becoming popular, we were all like, oh, the last people who will be replaced are like the creatives, the artists, the musicians.
First people to go.
Yep. First people out the door.
Yeah. Really interesting as well how, like, you know, the sort of communist types like, oh yeah, the robots will do all the manual labor and we'll sit around doing art all day. No, opposite.
You ignorant slut.
Yeah. It turns out that things like music was actually remarkably easy to make simple via generation because some sounds simply sound good. Like there's no way around it.
Turns out there is a formula.
Yeah. If you make noises that are pleasing to human beings, then it's probably going to be music.
Well, it's not just that. If you actually look at like the shape of sound waves, you can see how AI would completely get it. It's like, oh right, yeah, it's this, and this time, no problem, done, bro.
Yeah, it even synthesizes voices and then picks up on like the popular things within the music genre. I found a music site and I was like, hey, make me like a nice upbeat military style music, and he basically pumps out a Sabaton song in 30 seconds.
Yeah, and it's the same with art as well. Like people like, oh well, surely that's difficult. No, it's literally just pixels, bro. It's just pixels. You know, for a human artist, you're thinking really, really hard about it. For it, it's just arranging pixels.
Oh yeah, like again, one of my first impressions when AI started popping up was that this was going to murder the like pornography business. It already is. Like already they are making stuff that is indistinguishable from reality.
Oh no, not the pornography business. First they came from the pornographers and I said nothing.
But like this will then go on to the modeling business as well, because I've already seen like websites advertising their AI models to advertising agencies.
Oh yeah.
And imagine this, you can have your dress look in any way you want, however good you want, on whatever woman you want that perfectly suits the dress, whatever complexion, whatever hair color, whatever height, whatever anything, and it's all generated in seconds.
Yeah. I mean, it is mad.
It is.
And the thing is, like, as well, like the capacity of AI to slopify everything humans have ever done.
Oh yeah.
It's just incredible.
Oh yeah.
Brilliant.
And we are getting already complacent. Like, did you see the Final Fantasy IV poster thingy? This one.
No, Fantastic Four, you mean?
Yeah, Fantastic Four.
No, I haven't.
They've said again and again that they did not use AI for this, except this gentleman over here appears to be having 4 fingers.
Yeah.
So, whoopsie.
We didn't use AI. Our artists are just shit. Honestly, we swear.
Yep. To be fair, maybe, because we've got a woman's face there and another woman's face there, right? And you can see exactly the same 2 women there.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
So maybe their artists are just shit. That is an alternative explanation.
Yeah. No, you got us there, bro. We weren't using AI, we were using copy-paste, okay?
Yep. We were just shit and lazy. Oh, good.
Yeah. Checkmate, skeptics.
The worst part is this will be how they use. Like, the major corporations are going to be the world leaders on just taking AI and using it to mass produce slop.
Oh yeah, I kind of feel bad for the boomers, right? Because the boomers have been totally headshotted by this. Like you see, like Facebook slop, AI slop is just, I mean, prolific. It doesn't even do it justice, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, look at these 2 adorable kids, and it's something that instantly you're like, yeah, that's fake. And yet, 45,000 boomers have upvoted it. And it's like, Jesus, they don't even know they're living in a kind of hyper reality.
Oh,
they probably can't even grasp the concept.
Well, there's like, oh god, there's an endless amount of problems on this topic.
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
There really is. Like, one other thing, I saw a video about, like, I was trying to find it, like, really weird-looking fish creatures. And, there's a lot of weird shit in the ocean, like, stuff that shouldn't look real at all, but it actually is.
Yeah.
And this was an AI video, but it's like, it looks so unbelievably real, and, fish are already weird, so you look at it like, is this real? Are those things? Like, are these real creatures? Like,
yeah, and the thing is, you'll never know.
Yeah.
I have
never
lost shit.
Yeah,
except that you're completely disconnected from reality already, bro.
It's already gotten so good that there will absolutely, I have no doubt. We've already talked about this previously, but it's like, there's going to be a video of some politician assassinating somebody, and it's going to blow up online.
Probably.
And nobody's going to have the faintest clue that it's fake. And probably somebody's going to get killed.
yeah, probably. The future's so great, man.
Oh, another thing as well that struck me over the Fantastic Four thing. Back in the day, a lot of entertainment actually failed because entertainment was so good. Like, we were watching stuff and it's like, oh yeah, this is just average, right?
Yep.
The Star Wars prequels is a good example of that.
Yep.
Our standards were super high. Now our standards are super low.
Yep.
If we suddenly get hit by a massive wave of basically mass-produced slop, but at least it's AI, so you know it'll make the characters look good and it'll follow the basic formulas of cape stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
That's going to just set the standard. People are going to look at that and go like, well, I mean, it's not full of fat feminists.
True. Although I do suspect the days of the fat feminist are over.
It does look that way. It really does.
Thank God.
Although, the days of the fat feminists may be over, but they sure cashed out first.
Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, let's get into it.
The USA debacle, which has been quite the thing so far. Oh.
I mean, it's been really eye-opening, really, hasn't it? I mean, we knew they were getting paid by the government somehow, but nobody realized to what scale.
Oh yeah, like I saw one.
Question. Fire is the
Why
answer.
didn't I salt it away? I saw the feminist frequency one that she'd been given $250,000.
Yeah, I haven't validated any of these things, so I don't want to jump on it. But I did tweet it out just because it was a funny joke.
Ah, so you saw it too? Yeah, I know. I saw that, and again, there are websites up now that track a lot of this stuff. So.
Yeah.
I'm not discounting it.
No, feel free to fact check us.
Yes. There's definitely a lot of this stuff going about. And the BBC also received funding from America for reasons unbeknownst.
Yeah, the BBC was getting something like 8% of its funding from USAID. It's like, what? Why?
I mean, okay. I get why America would do it, because it's probably, soft power, spreading your propaganda, right?
Yeah.
But why would the BBC accept it? Like this, you are supposed to be British broadcasting. Your role, theoretically, is to serve the British public.
Oh, come on. Maybe in like 1918 or something, but like...
That's what I'm saying, theoretically.
Yeah, no, that world has long passed us by. The BBC is the device that the British state uses to propagate woke nonsense. That's why the USA department was funding it.
Harsh but fair, yes. It's like in a normal world, you would never have the National Broadcasting Institute of a nation go like, oh, hey, foreign power. Yeah, please do give us money.
Yeah, why the BBC is able to accept money that's not from its own license payers is bizarre.
Yes, like, why is that even allowed?
Yeah, good question that we'll never get an answer to.
On the bright side, the BBC has managed to increase its percentage of LGBTQ individuals.
Oh, good.
It's very good. And they're closing the LGBTQ plus pay gap as well, they say in their reports.
I mean, that's probably what the grant was for, so...
It might very well be, because a lot of the USA did go to nonsense like that.
Yeah.
There was even... I saw one of Callum's videos, actually, where he showed a clip of finding discarded US aid LGBT propaganda in Afghanistan.
Yeah, you know what was interesting? I saw an ISIS propaganda video still that was going around where they were doing it in a USAID tent.
I have that one. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Just come the fuck on.
Yep.
Like, God, it's bad enough being a British taxpayer. Imagine being an American taxpayer. Where it's just literally the meme, my dollars, and yet still my dollars. Just like, fuck.
I mean, fuck, America needs to be used to this by now. They've funded every terrorist organization that has shot at them in the last 60 years.
Yes, they have. But, like, it's still, as an American taxpayer, it must be infuriating.
It must be. It really must be.
Oh,
See, this is the problem when you've got like 60 intelligence agencies. The one has no clue what the other is doing. One man's freedom fighter is the other man's terrorists.
yeah, don't kill those ones. We were going to use those as a proxy against someone else. Oh, too late.
Yep. Shit. At least we're not giving them flying lessons anymore. That's nice.
That's a good start, isn't it? Like, fucking hell, man. Just the amount of money we piss up, collectively the West pisses up at the wall, man. Just does my nut. Absolutely does my nut.
And luckily now there's going to be a lot less. So, bearing in mind the BBC was a primary beneficiary here, they just happened to be writing some articles about how terrible it was to pause spending. Wow.
Well, yeah, for them. I don't even blame them, to be honest. If I'd suddenly lost 8% of my income, I'm like, whoa. What the fuck's happening here?
You can't just take away that. That was free money.
Yeah, exactly. I was being given that for free.
They wrote a long article here a few days ago explaining the terrible ramifications of America stopping to spend billions and billions on foreign countries.
Elon Musk is a big meanie, and I don't like him because he's taking my money away.
Let's see. The budget, here we go, yeah. With a budget of over 50 billion, US aid is one of the largest official aid agencies in the world. But hear this, and accounts for more than half of US foreign assistance. So,
Right.
the largest official aid agency in the world is only half of the total amount of money the US pisses away.
Yep.
Let that sink in.
I'm so glad Trump won, man. So glad Trump won. Like, every day something great happens, and I'm like, you lucky bastards, you Americans. I'm so glad they're getting this, though.
It is beautiful. Again, the entire grand experiment of foreign aid has just failed. It just didn't work.
It's just bribery. It's
Yep.
just it's bribery and spreading wokeness, right? That's all it is. Like, I saw Elon Musk retweeted a video from this African guy going like, well, don't send it to us because it just goes to our fucking corrupt politicians, and obviously we never see any of it. Don't send it. And it's like, yeah, who fucking thought it was going to anyone other than the politicians themselves? You know, come on, you must be so fucking naive.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
Citizenship.
Zelensky apparently has misplaced about $100 billion.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like, really? Isn't that interesting, Vladimir?
Zelensky claims that Ukraine has only received $75 billion out of the $177 billion military aid approved by the United States.
Oh, really? What happened to the rest of it, Mr. Zelensky?
Oh, well, he just doesn't know where the rest of the money went.
Hard to account for, bro. You know, I believe him too. I bet he doesn't know. That much money. I bet he's just like, look, I just genuinely have no idea. I took half of it, but I don't know where the rest is.
Yeah, I mean, I know where my slice is. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
It's just
Yeah, I know where mine is.
like, Jesus Christ, you sent me 177 and I got 75. That's more than 50% waste, bro.
Yeah, fucking hell.
My cut is starting to look awfully slim here.
Just can't get over just how we are so foolishly playing by the rules and paying our taxes, Arch.
Wow.
Why do we do this?
That's a very good question.
Why didn't we join the WEF?
Better question. Why can't we get a Trump that gets us out of the WEF?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, I was returning from my business trip yesterday, and I was driving back home, and on the radio comes the news of Norway, and they're like, "Oh, the Workers' Party of Norway have they've claimed now that we are 500 EU regulations behind. The 500 500 piece of EU regulation pending for approval in Norway.
Oh, God, I hate you so much.
And their solution is, we're going to appoint a lot more people so we can get these things approved. I'm like, no.
What happens if they don't get approved? The answer is nothing.
Well, then they're pending for another 6 months until they try again.
Exactly. That's it. That's literally it.
It's like 500 pieces. I can't even believe you could regulate something 500 times.
Well, they've got to regulate, like, the diameter of cherry tomatoes and bullshit like that, you see.
Yeah, like, can you even imagine 500 pieces of regulation? Like, is there anything at all we haven't regulated? Is there anything not controlled by the infernal bureaucracy of the fucking EU?
Well, you've got to remember that there are people whose entire job is just regulation. So, unsurprisingly, they end up doing a lot of regulation.
You ignorant slut.
I mean, it's literally all they do all day.
That's what they do. It's their job. What have you done today, Bob? I have invented 20 new pieces of legislation on flute.
I swear to God, man. I hate thinking about how this world is run.
It's a sad situation. But foreign aid has just it has failed. We need to not do this anymore.
Well, hang on. When you say failed, that implies the goal was productive. Right. The goal here was to spread woke propaganda. The entire goal is to remake the world in America's liberal image. That's what they were doing. Like, what's the wokest interpretation of being an American? Right, spread that. So, for fuck's sake, man. Like, I mean, some of the stuff they were doing, like sex change operations in Colombia. Like, what?
Yep.
And there was, DEI hiring in Serbia. There was was it like Venezuela or something? Some fucking lesbian opera or something. Just total nonsense. Total fucking nonsense. We just be like, I mean, why do any of you have jobs?
Yep. Well, again, the idea of aid was to help other nations. That was the lofty ideals, which have largely not succeeded in doing much of anything. The practical ideals was then simply the spreading of soft power, which has also, frankly, largely failed.
Yeah.
We've got some gay propaganda in Afghanistan, but it didn't really bite for some reason.
Yeah, and as soon as the Taliban took over, they put it in the bin.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
Strangely enough, yes.
Yeah.
The long-term efficacy of this is dubious.
Well, I mean, it's just been a total waste of money.
And the whole sex change operations thing, too. I want to point out, one of the first things they did in Weimar, Germany was start doing this stuff, okay?
Yep.
They had doctors. But the first sex change operation ever took place in Berlin.
Yep. Is it Magnus Hirschfeld or something like that, his name was?
Mm-hmm. And all of this originated from purely fetishistic purposes.
Yes. And when the Nazis were burning books, they were burning his books.
The Institute of Sexology.
Yeah. Like sexual Wissenschaft or something in German. And it's like, okay, great. This sounds reputable. Like, what? Like, sorry. Look, I'm as against Nazism as anyone else, but you shouldn't be doing this shit. You give them justification when you do this shit.
Well, literally, yes. Like, the reason why Hitler rose to power was because the Germans were looking around at the over 100 gay sex bars in Berlin and going,
yeah,
this has gone too far.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm down with this, guys.
Yep, every time I step off the tram, there's a line of prostitutes.
It's so worse as well. Harry is actually working on a long-form documentary about it, and so I read through some of the material he'd left on his desk, and I was just like, fucking hell. sort of bestiality sex bars and stuff like this. And it's just like, okay, look, I don't agree with the Nazis. But
unless you want to give them a really good point, don't go with this either.
Yeah, exactly. You literally make them inevitable when you do this shit. Just saying.
Yes, you very much so do. Let's see. Now, there are some more lovely cuts going on, though, not just to the foreign aid, which definitely needs trimming, but also, of course, he has offered, Trump and Elon, that is, a lot of early retirements.
40,000 bureaucrats got bought out, didn't they?
Yes, so far, 40,000 federal employees have accepted the buyout offer and has resigned.
It's a good start. But the thing is, in Britain, we've got 550,000 civil servants.
Oh, I'm sure there are millions of them in the US.
Yeah. So in America, they literally must have millions. So not bad for day one, but on day two, I want to see double that. And then double again. And then double again.
Let's see. Here we go. How many people work for the federal government? The federal government employs around 3 million people.
Yeah, there we go.
Now, don't get me wrong. America's a big fucking place. So it probably does require a fair bit of bureaucracy to keep running, but 3 million. It's half the population of Norway.
That's literally 1% of the entire population of America works for the government.
Mm-hmm.
Like a definitionally unproductive place for them to work.
Let's see here. That's going to make them... I mean, that's a country. A small country, but that is a country.
Well, yeah.
Same size as Armenia. And Moldova, Namibia, Qatar, Bosnia.
Yeah. And that's just the federal government. That's not taking into account state governments.
Yep.
And that's not taking into account any other sort of government programs that have been funded by the government, but aren't necessarily employed directly as government employees, etc., etc. So, I mean, you're probably looking at somewhere, honestly, probably around 10% of the entire American population works for the government or is directly funded by them in some way.
Employed largely in the creation of paper.
Yeah, and I'm probably being conservative about that. It's like, Jesus.
As a part of this, they also offered these up to the intelligence agencies too, which... I mean, it would be lovely if some of them would take it as well.
Well, apparently lots of them are thinking about just quitting because, I mean, Kash Patel is something of a barbarian, I've been told, which is wonderful to hear. I just want absolute barbarism against the state.
There's also, here we go, yes, FBI agents are preparing to sue Trump over January 6th scrutiny.
What?
Yep. So FBI had 5,000 people working on the January 6th nonsense.
Yeah.
Which I think was something along the lines of 30% of the entire agency.
And then Trump just pardons them all, yeah?
Yep. And he wanted the names of these people for surprising reasons, I'm sure.
No, I'm with Trump drawing up lists, yeah.
And so now they're suing him because they don't think the president of the United States gets to know what the FBI is doing.
Really? That's fascinating. Interesting. I mean, I'm looking forward to hearing their argument, frankly. Because the FBI is, of course, something that was invented in the 20th century by like FDR or something. Probably through executive order. So, it's not constitutional, blah, blah, blah. What could their argument possibly fucking be?
Retribution. They feel they're being unfairly targeted.
Oh, yeah, no, completely, yeah. Good point. That's right. That's exactly right. Yes, you're being targeted.
And was it? I know they can dissolve it because that's one of the points often brought up that you can actually get rid of the FBI.
Yes. It's absolutely nothing in like the Constitution or anything like that that means the FBI has to exist. It was just created out of convenience by, I'm pretty sure it was FDR, one of those sort of 20th century types.
Heresy is the question. Fire is the answer.
I can't remember which one it was. I'm sure the chat knows.
Annual
The point
budget
is-
of $10 billion. I think we can save some money there.
You know, just cut it down to whichever department deals with the X-Files.
Yeah, keep those.
Yeah, keep those. You know, that's it. Job done.
The UFO department's the only one that survived.
Yeah, put Joe Rogan in charge of it.
I do wonder. Like, I'm hoping he'll try to get rid of some of these security agencies, especially as he knows they're hostile to him as well.
100%.
We'll see if they can kiss the ring hard enough.
See, if I were an FBI agent, I'd just come out and be like, look, I'm actually super pro-Trump.
Heresy is the question.
I actually
Fire is
love
the
Trump.
answer.
Fucking put me in charge of it, bro.
Please, promotion.
What have you got to lose?
What do you have to lose? I mean, and already, CNN, is it CNN? I think it's CNN, right? 60 Minutes?
CBS, I think. Is it? No, I can't remember.
60 Minutes.
One of them.
CBS, yes, you're correct.
Right.
They too recently did the Kiss the Ring ritual as they released the full 60-minute interview with Kamala Harris.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen this.
It doesn't make her look great, and it absolutely
kidding.
categorically proves that they re-edited the interview.
Yeah.
Like there's
So,
no question.
They tried to make it look like Joe Rogan was dodging having an interview with her. 'Cause it never happened, obviously. And Joe Rogan just came out and said, no, they kept ducking me. And after seeing like any amount of time with her unscripted talking, well, you can see why they did that. But like, no, that would be a fucking disaster. We can't let it go on that, obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean she couldn't survive an interview with 60 minutes. That was cut down to 20.
An incredibly friendly interview.
Yep. Put her in a room with Joe Rogan for 2 to 3 hours. Now, I don't think that would do wonders for her presidential career.
No, not that it went well anyway, but still. The point is...
The point is, they lied, and it was then proven. What can I say? It's a repeatable narrative.
Yes.
Seems to be happening a bit too often.
Well, like, I mean, every bit of cynicism that people expressed throughout all of this, the last 4 years, it has all been proven to be completely warranted, right?
Yep, it has.
That's the thing. So, like, every time someone's like, well, that's probably them doing it for these reasons. Yeah, it turned out to be exactly that. So, you know.
I'm just looking forward to, because they were going through a lot of the document now, and there were going to be more documents released about the funding of the US government. I'm looking forward to somebody going through that with a list of streamers' business identifications.
What is Vouch Media Enterprises Limited?
Exactly. Because all of these need to be registered. You know, they've got the little, what's it in the US? The EIN numbers, I think. Because everybody's got a business number.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that if there's anyone that has been paid by the US government. That'd be downright fascinating, in fact. As, yes, indeed, everyone's favorite fan of equine creatures has been in the news yet again. Now, to be fair, USA shuts down, Vorsh broke. Bit misleading title, because what he goes on about here isn't really the US aid. It's just that he is complaining now about the potential of being deleted of YouTube, of being blocked.
You know what, right? Every single day since 2016, I've woken up, I've picked up my phone and I've checked that my YouTube channel is still there. And some days it's not. Like my Patreon back in 2017. Woke up, checked my phone. Oh, my Patreon's been deleted. My Twitter. Wake up, check my phone. Oh, my Twitter's been deleted. So, yeah, I know how that feels, Vorsh. I know how that feels. I've known for quite some time, actually.
Yep. I mean, this has been reality for a lot of us. Every time my YouTube takes a little bit too long to load, I'm like,
Here he is, yeah. Now's the time.
But Vorsh is now very afraid, so let's...
Yeah, Vorsh knows what it's like to be on our side of the fence, I see.
And forgive me for being a bit self-centered for a moment. I'm sorry. I apologize. I know. They say privileged streamer. My job could go out like that. You know?
Oh.
Run back to Daddy in Beverly Hills. My parents aren't rich. They don't have any money. It actually means something for me if my job goes out.
You know how crazy things are getting over here? Literally, like, at any moment. You know that? They could just say, hey, YouTube, it's un-American of you to allow left-leaning people to...
Left-leaning.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's technically true, right?
That's technically true, yes. In the same way that a horizontal pillar can fit on a compass.
Yeah. But no, good point, Vorsh. Good point. We need to get Steve Bannon to get yeeted off the internet.
Post videos. These communist videos are pro-China. Kablamo, I'm out. And
Good
that's
point.
a little scary.
No, he's making a good point. I think we should raise that with the Trump administration. I actually have a few contacts in there. I might email them in a second.
You seem to have a lot of communist sympathizers.
Scary. It's literally like there's no, like it's a day-by-day thing. I wake up every morning and I check. So I'm just saying, in the meantime, maybe I'm a little bit more like and subscribe-y than usual.
And on that topic, chat, like the stream, you lazy shits.
To be fair, though, to be fair to Vorsh, I actually don't blame him for this. I would probably feel the same way if I were him.
Of course, but like this is...
Of course, but he deserves it.
Exactly what they needed to experience,
Yes.
though.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Because they have, it's remarkable. For people who claim to empathize with the entire fucking world... They were never capable of empathizing with those who disagreed, to the point where it had to take the entire political system shifting on its head for them to go, wow, this feeling sucks.
Yeah. Weird, that, isn't it?
That's
really
strange.
weird. Really makes you think.
The solution to communists being pro-censorship is to beat the shit out of them with the censorship stick, it turns out.
Look, it's the only way they're going to learn.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
For years and years, everyone was going, listen, you don't want this, because eventually you'll lose power, it'll happen sooner than you think, and now you'll be the one on the receiving end of all of this shit you made up. It's like, no.
Because eventually Trump will win, and he'll be angry. It's like, no, he won't. Yeah, okay.
We will never lose power. All of these abusive tools will only ever be used against our enemy.
Yeah, we'll only ever have control of them. What are you talking about? All right, that's how it works. Yeah.
And hey, he's also got a point there. Like there are absolutely examples of movements gaining power and, you know, going after their political enemies.
Oh, really? Oh, that. Interesting.
And particularly when one side feels, I don't know, victimized or treated poorly by their opposition.
Yeah. I've heard that could happen.
A little bit of anger there could one might even say be justifiable.
Yeah. I mean, I think Vorsh should definitely say that about the oppressed people who are rising up against whoever.
I believe, in fact, we can reach back into the vault here and drag out a Vorshian quote. It is my principle to win as a socialist.
Good point. It's my principle to win as not a socialist.
And, well, principled failure has no meaning, Vorsh. Well...
He's got a point. I think we should listen to him. Let's hear him out on this.
But at least, if he had maintained his principles, he would no longer be quite as large a target as he is.
Good point.
This is a bit older, but Hassan was crying over not getting enough views a while ago too.
Oh, was he?
Yes. He only had 13,000 viewers. Terrible.
To be fair, that's quite low for him.
For him, yes, but still, Jesus.
I mean, 13,000 is a lot, but it's not that much for someone who's got like millions of followers on Twitter and Twitch and stuff.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. So just out of shits and giggles, I decided to open Twitch. And our good friend Hassan is, of course, on the front page.
Of course he is.
So for someone who is
streaming
pushed this
terrorist
hard-
propaganda, presumably.
Yep.
Like, I mean, did you see Ethan Klein's video on him?
I did, and
Oh, I didn't know how bad it was.
I have mixed feelings on that video.
Oh yeah, why's that?
Because on the one hand, everything he says is correct. Like, he brings up his dark past. He points it out. Yep, no, he had a Houthi terrorist on stream. He called him that. Shows actual terrorist propaganda. Shows them singing, dancing, wielding guns. All of this.
Praises terrorist propaganda on a stream. Yep.
Yep. Affluent praise. But this is also coming from the man who was taken for a ride by him for 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, on the plus side, though, Ethan's lost loads of weight and he was wearing a suit. So, good job, Ethan.
That's true. That's true.
Looking good.
And he did also go like, okay, it was my responsibility. I fucked up, which is fair,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he even shows a
Jordan
clip.
Peterson was telling you, Ethan.
Yeah, he shows a clip from like early on in their collaboration where Hassan is on a podcast with other people and there's the sun is a hammer and sickle in the sky.
Heresy is the question.
One of
Fire
his
is the
co-podcast
Subtle.
guests is a literal Lenin figure.
Subtle.
And yet still Ethan was like, what, you're not a social democrat? Dun, dun, dun.
To be fair, though, I mean, Ethan was never really like, oh, I'm a political mastermind, blah, blah, blah. He was always a California lib who's a moron. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was totally obvious and you should have known, Ethan. But, like, the subject of Israel comes up and, Hassan's there chanting death to Israel and you're like, oh, okay then. So, yeah.
Yeah, but that also comes. I don't like that angle either, because it. Okay, so you were buddy with this guy for 2 years. Like, oh, we're gonna blow up the RNC. Ha ha ha! It's a joke, bro. Then he goes, we're gonna start bombing Israel. And suddenly, he's like, oh, my tribe.
Hang on a second. Yeah, we can't do that. So, okay, thanks, Ethan.
Also, America, don't invade Gaza. What the fuck are you on?
You know what? Right. So, am I the only person who thinks this is at least an entertaining thing for Trump to just shove out into the public discourse?
Oh, it's a beautiful thing to just dump out there, because it's so fucking out of left field.
I know. There's like I'm not in favor or against or anything like that, right? I'm not obviously, I don't care. But like, I just love the way just Trump comes out and says, "Yeah, no, we're going to take it over," and everyone's like, "What?" And it's like, "Yeah, there's literally no one's going to stop me." So I'm just going to take it over, and we're going to turn it to a resort or something like that. Beautiful beachfront properties, or whatever. It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess he's right. Like, it could be beautiful beachfront properties. The eternal property developer in Donald Trump sees the opportunity and just goes for it.
Let's see here. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too, Trump said.
I mean, he's probably right. They probably will.
Unveiling what he called his long-term ownership.
But I mean, like, what all people have said is, no, why you're not allowed to do this? But like, no one's going to be able to stop him from doing it.
Yeah.
Like, when he sends like the U.S. Mediterranean fleet over there to just secure it, what are they going to do? Everyone's
Nothing.
going to be sat there holding their balls, going, "Well, okay, I wish he wasn't doing this."
Heresy.
It's like, no, he's done it now. Now what?
Yeah. What was it? There we go. Yes. So this is the opposition here. This is Iran's drone carrier.
Single.
Guarantees
Yep.
citizenship.
Single drone carrier. It's basically just a glorified helicopter carrier is what it is that can launch drones.
America have like 13 of these. So, yeah.
Yes, America has dozens of them. And not to mention the 30 plus actual super carriers.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, no one's going to do anything, and Trump's going to get exactly what he wants.
Yes.
I hope
nothing
everyone's
to do
clear
shit.
that this is what's going to happen.
Yeah. And here's the thing, too. America could absolutely do so. The idea is, it's not quite as retarded as it sounds initially, somewhat. Basically, Trump is putting forth the idea of just giving Israel carte fucking blanche to do whatever the heck they want to clear the Gaza Strip.
Shit.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it will be handed over to the US for management, and the US will rebuild it. And this will then become settlements for both Israelis and potentially Palestinians. He's also put forth the idea that the Palestinian populace would be removed from Gaza and settled somewhere else,
Ignorant slut.
that the US would prepare for them, apparently.
Yes.
And hey, America could absolutely rebuild the Gaza Strip to probably actually unironically be an excellent tourist attraction, because it's a beautiful country if it hadn't been built over by, like, thousands and thousands of bare bones brick buildings.
Yes. I mean, it's prime Mediterranean real estate. Like, you just don't get better climate.
No, literally, it's fantastic. You could do incredible things with that area.
Yeah.
If it weren't for its slightly contested status.
Yeah. So from a practical point of view, Trump is correct. You could absolutely do amazing things there. And, you know, like, again, he's a property developer. If anyone knows, you know, who's got an eye for this sort of stuff.
Yep. However, his claim that it will require 0 US soldiers, no, I don't think so.
Probably not entirely correct, no.
Yeah. The thing is, it's a funny thing. Suicide bombers and this kind of nonsense is a frequent thing down there. Weirdly
really?
enough. Yeah.
No kidding.
Rocket strikes and all kinds of things.
Yeah, I've heard about those.
It's a spicy piece of real estate.
Yeah. But that's why he's going to remove the population, isn't it?
Yes, but even then, like, he's going to have to put up some serious defenses all around this place, because this is pretty much the Palestinian Holy Lands right here.
Yeah, but if he takes them all out and then never lets them back, then
It would make it easier.
Heresy's the question.
yeah. Because, I mean, I've seen a lot of lefties complaining, oh, this is ethnic cleansing. And it's like, yeah, well, to be honest with you, you were fucking around for a long time, and I guess you're finding out now, right? Like, at the end of the day, Trump doesn't really care. He just wants to hear the end of it. That's the thing. And yeah, it's not that I'm not sympathetic or anything, but it's like, this is just the way things are going, you know?
You have consistently antagonized, picked at, and pissed off the vastly militarily superior neighbor. And, well, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah. And it's, you know, the strong do what they can and the weak suffer what they must. This is the eternal rule of international politics, I'm afraid, and you're going to find that out firsthand. And I'm sorry that, you know, I didn't want this to happen or anything. You know, I was never for this or against this or blah, blah, blah. But it's just, as someone watching from a long way away, I'm just kind of shrugging, going, well, you know, that's rough.
All you had to do was stop shooting at the Israelis.
Yeah, it would have removed all of their justification.
Yep. If you could have kept your people in check, the Israelis would have been screwed by
Heresy's the
public
question. Fire
perception.
is the answer.
They couldn't have done anything. But that wasn't the case. Instead, you decided to send people with hang gliders over the border and start killing women and children.
Yeah, I mean, it really didn't help your cause. Just
It
saying.
did not. It's a poor strategic move long term.
Yes.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
I do look forward to seeing. Like, I haven't seen through his 4D chess yet what this is about.
I honestly, I think this is just about Donald Trump being sick of hearing about the issue.
Yeah, it might boil down to the give Israel carte blanche to do what they want part of it.
Yeah, probably. Netanyahu looked alternatively happy and kind of grumpy during that press conference. So it was hard to divine how he was feeling about it, frankly.
Yeah, because he almost certainly does not like the idea of the US moving in and establishing itself on his turf.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if he can get the US off his back, he doesn't actually give a shit about all of the other protests. What's the EU gonna do? Whine at him?
No, he didn't give a shit about that at all. But not only that, like, for him, the Gaza problem is resolved, right? Like, what do you do about the Palestinians in Gaza? Well, the US president's removing them forever, basically. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's that.
Yep. And maybe you'll have an American military enclave on your border, and those do tend to take a while to disappear, but it's better than the Palestinians, I guess.
But that's not going to be there forever.
Exactly. At least they'll leave at some point.
Yep.
It's a weird one. It might also just be him getting He has been getting really aggressive lately. The tariff threats, for example.
Yeah, but again, I'm actually kind of for it. Like, I like the idea of Trump just putting a bunch of people in their fucking place. You know, Trump just getting to the point where he's like, look, I'm not fucking around now. I'm just sick and tired of it all. You know, you are all going to fall into line and do exactly as I say, or everyone gets fucked. And I'm like, yeah, fuck him up, Trump. Fuck him up.
And he's achieved...
Citizenship.
I've seen a lot of critique as well. So there was the... Mexico was going to deploy 10,000 troops
Yeah.
to the border.
Yeah.
Now, they did this under Biden as well.
Yeah,
but
I was
the
going to say
difference
this
was
Go on.
Biden
Harris
paid
is the
them.
question. Fire is the answer.
Trudeau was doing the same thing, wasn't he?
Yes, the $1 billion in border aid was already budgeted in the Canadian budget.
Yeah.
So
Harris
Trump
is the
is
question.
claiming,
Fire is the
in a
answer.
degree, in a way here, victories that were already inevitable.
Well, then checkmate. My victories are inevitable. Why? Because they're already going to happen. Shut up.
You
Yeah, the
ignorant
thing is, this gives him gravitas, it gives him power amongst his voters, it makes him look like a big boss. And in the case of Mexico, too, okay, he didn't pay for them. He didn't beg and grovel like Biden did. He just go, no, I'm going to punish you now.
Yeah. And again, like, okay, Trudeau might already have been planning to put those troops there or whatever, but now he's definitely going to do it.
Yep.
You know, Trump has thrown his weight on him and said, right, do you yield? And Trudeau's like, well, yeah, obviously.
It is now a guarantee, whereas, I mean, we've seen governments budget things for, certain things before and spent them on completely different things. Like when the FEMA spent all of their money on tents at the border instead of rebuilding North Carolina.
Yes.
So, earmarking that money is still valuable in and of itself.
Yeah, and just showing them what the current sort of marching order is important.
It is. It's a way of establishing himself.
Yeah.
And again, it's just, for anyone who doesn't remember the previous years, etc., it just looks like an amazingly big win.
Yeah, and again, just making sure they all understand the pecking order. That's the important thing.
Understand the pecking order. I like that way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. Speaking of pecking order, this is an unrelated piece of news, but I found it funny. Disney lost 700,000 subscribers in Q1.
Fucking hell, we're not even out of Q1 yet.
Yep. I mean, I'm presuming that they're referring to early projections or something here.
Right.
Because Q1 hasn't happened, and it's going to happen for quite a while. But yeah, they did increase the prices by a lot.
That is a fucking load.
Yep,
What?
there's a pretty massive increase.
I mean, I stopped paying for Disney years ago just because it was really expensive. So obviously I had it for the kids, but it was like still, no. You can watch Baby Shark on YouTube.
And it's not like Disney's entertainment has been that particularly spectacular either.
No, it's been shit.
I mean, at this point, with like a yearly price like that, that's a fair bit of money there.
That is.
I think Netflix is still a lot cheaper, although Netflix will show you ads now, even if you pay them.
Oh, I know. Same with Amazon Prime, man.
Yep.
It's like, you fucking bastards. I'm paying you. I'm not paying you to pay me to make me watch ads. I hate them all so much.
It's just going to be cable again, but you'll pay for the privilege.
I know. It really is. It's just turning into cable.
That's the beauty of these things, okay? They'll just keep pushing what they can get away with.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if they'll stay because they had a big celebration last quarter that Disney Plus had finally become profitable. I wonder.
Well, there's that up in smoke.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll be able to maintain that with the higher prices, or if the loss of subscribers might have just undone all of that.
I mean, I'm sure you can't lose 700,000 subscribers and be like, well, that was fine.
Yeah, it's probably not a very good thing. 700,000 people. Fucking Christ.
And what was the original price again? $80.
$79, so 80.
Yeah. So someone with a calculator work out just how much that's just cost Disney.
I was trying to look up how many, because they had, right, there we go, yes. So they have a massive subscriber base, of course.
Sure.
Like 150 million people. There's a lot.
Yeah.
But even then, that's a drop in of 1 million dudes there.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in charge of Disney, I'd be like, what just happened, guys? Someone's in trouble, so, get your story straight, because we're going to have it out.
It's been dropping. It's kind of, Right, so this is like their numbers for a while now. You can see in 2022 it peaked, and since then it's been going in little waves and valleys. You would not think that Disney should have a hard time attracting subscribers. I mean, fucking Disney.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that, like, look, you can just get access to every Disney cartoon, movie, whatever, that's ever been made, like, instantly. Therefore, how is this not a money printing engine?
Yeah, like...
Every parent in the English-speaking world should have a subscription to this, as far as Disney's concerned.
And think about the sheer amount of properties they have.
Yeah.
I mean...
And just the sort of, like, dare I say, legendary nature of the things as well. Like, Disney's got so many amazing films under its belt.
And so many TV series, too. Like, they've been doing this for quite a while now.
Yeah.
You really would think they could just kind of, keep doing all of that? It's like, what, is Mickey Mouse falling out of style? Can't you do something with him?
I mean, he's falling out of copyright. So.
That's true. It seems absurd that this wouldn't just be a continuous money printer.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does. I mean, what's weird is you think that Disney would be, like, big on the pro-natalist movement or something like that. She'd be like, Disney, if people stop having babies, we lose our company, right? The more babies that exist, the more Disney subscriptions exist.
And I will notice, I was looking up cartoon, like, a Disney series now. You know how back in the day, they used to make all kinds of these little silly spin-off cartoons of their successors, or like Aladdin got a show and all that?
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
That's weird.
It is. They're doing a lot like of original programming of teenagers looking dumb on camera.
Okay. That's what YouTube is, isn't it?
Oh, and...
TikTok, sorry.
This shit.
I don't know what this is.
This was their Spanish show, all Spanish characters. This is how the Latinx community views itself.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are hundreds of millions of Spanish speakers, so you'd think big market tap into.
You'd think so. God, I'm
Possibly not like this, but what do I know? I'm not a marketing exec.
I'm looking at the stuff they got now. This kind of brings me back to last week's topic too, where it's like this art style is so shit compared to what we had.
Oh yeah.
God. I wonder who shot and or ate all of the people who used to make cartoons back in the day.
Yeah, surely they can be like revived from stasis or wherever they've been put.
Brought out of retirement at least. No, Grandpa, you will continue to draw.
Yeah. Or at least teach new generations how to draw. I mean, but either way, the millennial artists have just been the worst thing to happen to humanity. Probably since the Second World War.
I don't know. I feel like we're laying a heavy burden on the Austrian to live up to that one. God damn it, Disney. I wonder if Disney got any funding.
Good point. No one checked, did they? Disney were woke for free.
You ignorant slut.
Well, a quick Google search doesn't reveal anything, so...
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
Oh, no, there we go. Yep. Disney has indeed received money from USAID.
How much?
Checking. I can't find a number. Apparently, they did receive money for collaborations with channels like National Geographic, so they got documentary grants, I'm guessing.
Right.
I have lost.
I mean, hey, don't get me wrong, I am a fervent advisor for any company to screw as much money out of the government as humanly possible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even blame them. Like, no one's angry at fucking the New York Times or Reuters or whatever for taking the money. Everyone understands why you take the money, Jesus.
Yep, absolutely. Like, if you have an opportunity to screw the government out of millions of dollars, go right ahead. I am going to yell at the government, though.
Yeah, it's the government's fault for making this possible.
Oh, yeah, the Politico thing. So Politico had apparently received money, but that's... Various companies have purchased subscriptions to the publication in 2016. So they didn't receive money, they just bought millions of subscriptions, I guess?
No. They bought like 37 subscriptions, but each subscription cost like 14 grand.
Okay.
So, and obviously no one's going to play that if it was something real, right? So what has been done here is that someone at Politico spoke to someone in the US government, and someone in the US government was like, look, we know how to get to you money. And they're like, oh yeah, how? Well, look, you just set up like a really high tier subscription and we'll buy like 30 of them. And that way you get a few million and we just, put it on the books as a subscription to a political service.
Yep. So, Politico LLC received $8.1 million from the agency.
No, it was way more. In total, it was something like 34 million.
Was it?
Yeah.
You said... Politico, several publishers received special funds from the agency. Fun fact, this was you saying. Okay, so that's the 8 million that I mentioned there. Okay, so that's the bare number that we have.
Yeah, no, I've seen it around. It is way more than that in total. Again, I think it was 34 million in total.
I mean, even at 8 million, how the fuck would you subscriptions for $8 million? How?
But what this goes to show is that all of this was astroturfed from the start, right?
Yes.
Like this, none of this was organic. None of this was able to stand on its own merits. There was no public demand for fucking Vox and woke shit like this. There was never public demand. What it was astroturfed by people who controlled the US government spending.
Let's see, I just looked up Politico's primary headlines. Trump dumped these farmers water. Elon Musk presents a new vulnerability to Donald Trump. Musk aims to hobble the federal workers.
Uh-huh.
Heresy's the question.
Yeah, I see why.
Nothing about the revelations of Politico taking $34 million in.
Let's see. Not that I can see now. Strange
silence on that. Yeah.
Weird. But no, you're almost certainly right. Literally, this. How do we get the money to you? How do we get the incentives? And they did it legally, quote unquote.
Yeah. And the thing is, well, like Trump or Musk stops the payments, and then literally the next day, Politico are like, "Oh, we can't make our payments for wages."
Yes.
And it's like, well, is that a coincidence? Very doubtful, right? Very much doubt there are any coincidences at this point.
Yep, which seems to indicate that not a whole lot of other money is actually going into Politico.
Yeah. Which is not surprising. I mean, why would you? What would be the advantage to some private investor or something? Like, this thing's not going to make money. This thing is an organ of elite control.
Uh-huh. The payment error had been caused by a system glitch. Yes.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Very, very true. Definitely a believable story.
Very much so. I think the glitch was that you were being paid in the first place.
Yeah.
And of course, they also funded video games.
Yep. All the gamers are dead stuff probably paid for by Politico, by the US government, weirdly enough.
I mean, this too is no shock. We already knew, like, Dustborn was funded by European Union, by the Norwegian government, to my eternal shame. Obviously, they would do this. Like, if they got the wherewithal to pay journalists, they'd obviously have the wherewithal to pay, the creators of the largest entertainment sector.
Yeah. We want you to just, I mean, like, so what's going on with Kingdom Come 2?
Well, from the situation, as I can tell so far, Daniel Vavra definitely lied. Knowingly so.
Right. Okay.
Because he's been caught in multiple falsehoods now.
Fuck's sake. I liked Vavra as well.
Yeah. He's definitely coping about something. And the question
the ESG money was too good.
Yeah, because, okay, so he said, no outside force will have any influence on me. And yet he did introduce a lot of strange things.
This homosexual relationship is essential to the plot.
Yes, and the worst part is, it's not some random NPC, it's your best friend.
Yeah, because that would have been normal in 14th century Bohemia.
Yeah, and your best friend is a infamous womanizer.
Yes. Retconning the characters. That's definitely normal.
Yeah, and it bears strong vibes of, no, men cannot merely be friends.
Yeah. Fuck's sake, Daniel.
There's also, and I have not confirmed this myself, this is a rumor at the moment, but the more character in the game apparently fucks your girl.
Oh, yeah.
And your only choices are to forgive him and her.
Or watch.
Or watch. Or kill him, and then she leaves you because she's upset.
Yeah, I'll kill him. Fine.
So, this is one of the two main romances. So, the romance options in the game at the moment appear to be gay or get cucked.
But don't worry, these are completely essential to the story. We didn't take ESG money.
Yeah, so it's seeming awfully sus like that.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Like I said, I don't know. I haven't been following it, so I'm not planning on getting it. And I've just seen people talking about it, and everyone seems really angry. And it's like, oh no, please don't be.
Everyone is angry on each side. Like, this is a minefield to fucking even breathe a word about, because the game itself, from what I've played of it, it's basically just more Kingdom Come 1, and I'm fine with that. It plays fun. I was enjoying the gameplay. But I'm all... God, I also so totally get the chat's argument, whereas, like, all of these various games didn't start out woke. It started with something, and then they got away with it, and then they added more.
Yeah, I totally agree. And if anything, I kind of want to see an overtly anti-woke approach. It's like, okay, so the last decade of video games has been debased and degenerate, and so what we're going to do is create a straight white male protagonist who goes and saves a princess from a castle and then marries her.
Yep.
It's like, why are you doing that? Well, because literally that's not what has been done. Like, that's the subversion at this point.
That would be the subversion. That would be very avant-garde.
Yeah.
But that's not what they did here, so... I don't know, like, this is genuinely a super complex question, because you don't want your woke art to be so overtuned that you see it in anything and everything, and you start doing the Anita Sarkeesian, everything is sexist, everything is problematic.
Yeah, because I'm not being paid by the government.
Yes.
As soon as the Trump ESG bucks come in, trust me, I will, though.
Oh, yeah, no, if Trump wants to give me $250,000, I don't give a shit
to point out gays and browns in media, I'll do that, Trump. Give me the money.
Absolutely. For $250,000, what is woke? Oh, it's just gay and black people. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's all fucking woke now. Go
on. But at the same time, exactly this has happened before. Like, you see it. Mass Effect was one such thing. BioWare, the entirety of BioWare used to make great RPGs, and then they end up with Veilguard.
Yep. I mean, this new Assassin's Creed is a remarkable thing.
Yes.
Because it I've seen the videos of this giant black samurai just murdering random Japanese people in a market. I'm like, wow, this is truly a form of representation.
And crucially, not getting desynced. That's the thing. It's Assassin's Creed. You're supposed to be jacked into the Matrix, reliving your ancestors' memories. And if you killed civilians randomly in the other games, the game would be like, hold on, your ancestor didn't do that. He's not a bloodthirsty maniac just slaughtering civvies.
Well, we're not getting desynced for this.
Yeah, but in Assassin's Creed Shadows, apparently you can have the big black guy run around fucking slaughtering innocent Japanese civilians.
I think it's actually really funny how he's like a head and shoulders taller than everyone else in the game as well. Like it looks genuinely brutish. It's crazy.
Terrible. It looks like some kind of like terrorist propaganda movie.
Yeah, it does. It's really bad. And it's just like, okay, if I were a black guy, I'd be like, look, I don't really want that representing us, thank you. Could you just change him to a normal Japanese person?
Take some of Hassan Piker's favorite music, Easy Listening, and just slap that over him killing Japanese people, and it'll look really bad really quick.
just like, no, we need black representation. Hey, what's he gonna do? Well, he's gonna be a murderous psycho. Oh, okay, good. Good thinking.
And they leaked their art book got leaked.
I didn't see that.
Literally, they've made every mistake in the book has come true for Ubisoft.
Oh, yes. Like what?
Well, the art book revealed a they-them character, of course.
Oh, yeah.
It also showed concept art of the female character who looks suspiciously way hotter in the concept art.
No kidding.
And apparently there was also a picture of Oda Nobunaga committing seppuku, with Yasuke being his second.
Okay, yeah. What does that mean?
Well, the second, when you were committing ritual sacrifice or a suicide,
they help finish you off or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But
who's
the character?
That was a role of tremendous trust and honor. Like, that was what you gave to your bestest bro, basically.
Yeah, I know. But, like, who's the other character? I don't know the significance.
Yasuke's the Black Samurai.
Ah, right, okay.
So apparently, out of all of Odo Nobunaga's friends and retainers, he chose the big black guy to behead him.
How kind.
Just one more instance of black on Asian violence, I guess.
I mean, at least it's not set in New York.
At least something. May not be much of something, but it is something.
You've just got to admire their commitment to cultural sensitivities, really.
Truly. I wonder how much they paid their historians, because no matter what it was too much.
It's so ridiculous. It's genuinely clownish.
Let me get some of the super
guaranteed
chats. We
fits.
only have the usual 2 hours today, chat. Not too much wandering off the point.
No.
Ripoff Productions, LLC. There's Vors's LLC. I'm sorry, that was awfully insulting of me.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be fair to Vorsh, he actually does make original content. It's
Heresy's
just
the question. Fire
Vorsh
is the
talking.
answer.
I mean, he's not just eating on camera, so he's already superior to certain other socialists.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. It's not just an empty chair.
Yeah. Have either of you watched A Fan with Too Much Time? Star Wars vs. 4K fanfic audiobook here on YouTube.
Heresy's the
It is
question.
the best story in
Fire
either
is the
franchise
answer.
in years. The scene where a guardsman rants about evil Xeno in response to a Jedi trying to offer peace.
I have not.
Me neither. Partially because I am working on some theory crafting stuff for myself too, and I categorically avoid anyone who talks about something I'm going to talk about because I am far too easily influenced.
That's fair. I'm not really a Star Wars fan, so I don't watch any of it.
Yeah, but the whole Star Wars was 40K thing is like the biggest meme, so probably gonna
Star
have to do
Wars
that at some
was
point.
40k. What?
Versus 40K.
Oh, versus. Right. Oh, well, yeah, fair.
I think when I get to that thing, chat, there'll be a 6-hour video explaining the rules, as both of the universes have a lot of inconsistencies, but Star Wars even more so.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's a problem with the Star Wars one, right? Because I mean, I don't really see I wouldn't, if I were a Star Wars fan, I would have a problem considering basically anything Disney did to it canon. Because it's not a continuity from not only the people who wrote it originally, obviously, but like people who gave a shit about it anyway. Like, I can accept that a canon was written by someone who wasn't one of the original creators, as long as the canon fits with the established rules, lore, and purpose of the thing. I could accept that, right? But that's obviously not what's happened with Star Wars. So it's just like, okay, well, a Star Wars fan who actually cares about the property must be really conflicted on this, right?
Yeah. Which is why the first thing you got to do in case you're comparing Star Wars to any other setting is you've got to go through it and determine what you're actually going to use.
Yeah, exactly. What is canon in this? And the answer would be, well, pretty much anything George Lucas wrote.
Yep. And in some cases, like, there are parts of the further lore that makes a degree of sense.
Yeah.
Like, particularly in the prequels. I actually love a lot of the prequel stuff when it comes to warfare. The B-1 battle droids. The B-1 battle droids should have won the war because it is a soldier that can fight at relatively comparable level to a trained and educated soldier, but that can be churned out in their millions.
Yep.
That is a fucking war machine.
And also, like, again, the problem with the prequels was not that they were a disinteresting plot. The problem with the prequels is that George Lucas was fat and lazy.
Yep. Poor delivery.
Yeah, poor delivery. Right. That's why they're still mimetic. You know, that's why Palpatine is still fun and interesting. Like, there's nothing wrong with the purpose and the story of the prequels. It's just literally George Lucas was so lazy.
Yeah. And he had his issues with understanding how things would work in a universe setting.
Well, yeah, midichlorians. For fuck's sake,
Midichlorians,
George,
yeah.
really.
the entire Trade Federation. Like, the Trade Federation should have overrun the fuck out of the Republic, because the Republic was literally recruiting from one sole singular planet in their entire fucking strength. Like, okay, gather every ship you have and head there.
But also, who were the Trade Federation blocking? They were the guys in charge of trade and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, I didn't really understand it, but the point being, the theme of it isn't a bad theme, right? And so, even if it was poorly executed, fine. That's fine. I can accept it.
I also have a soft spot for the Gungans, weirdly enough.
I don't.
Listen, the Gungans should be fucking terrifying. These shits have mobile shield generators capable of standing up to the fire of a fucking battalion of tanks.
I have lost.
They've got highly mobile, highly effective energy weapons. They've stabilized plasma to the point where you can hold it in your hands.
But they're also retarded, and I hate them.
That's the problem. They're idiots.
Yeah.
By all accounts, the Gungans should be generally rather dangerous, but because they're idiots, they're not.
Because they're written for fucking children, George.
Ah, it's tragic.
Yes.
Dean Domino 25, question for Sargon. After Elon and his TISM team, the massive rabbit hole of US aids, how big is the grin on your face?
Well, I mean, it's just been a lot of fun to watch, hasn't it, chat? It's been good to see that Trump and Elon are actually managed to do the things they said they were going to do. Yep. That's all I'm saying. Just loving it.
I also adore the fact that most of the Doge stuff is basically being run by 5 autistic teenagers that has been locked in a basement with a bunch of servers.
Yeah. And the people who they're defunding are furious about this, which is great.
Yeah, like they were straight up death threats on Reddit. And the best part is, they were determined to not be in violation of the terms of service.
Oh, yeah.
There was one where the dude was talking about how to tie a noose, basically. It's like, what was it?
Oh, yeah?
I was like, I this is how you tie a noose when you're near Elon's team. And you read it, reviewed it, and was like, no, this is definitely not a threat. Don't worry about it.
Is that not? Oh, okay. I was curious of the kind of death threats that Reddit allowed, and I guess now we know.
Yeah. Hands for 10 euros. Hey, Arch and Sargon, had either of you seen the Raptors animation by JJ Case in English? If not, it does show Space Marines effective while still making their foes deadly. It's no Starties, but still good.
No, I haven't seen that.
Sadly, me neither. Again, I watch very little YouTube.
Yeah, I don't have time to watch anything, I'm afraid.
Ignorant slut.
Have you watched the Space King one by Flash Cats?
I did ages ago. I watched the first one. I haven't watched the second one yet.
Yeah, my chat keeps telling me I need to watch them. I'm like, I probably will at some point, but it's like the...
Service guarantees citizenship.
Flash kits are great, though, so...
Yeah.
I don't doubt they're good.
Zinni, you have no idea how long I've waited for this day. Ever since the Sargon of Vosh debate, I really hope they get punished.
Well, who knows what Trump will do tomorrow.
Good things come to those who wait. I mean, honestly, the part of me that wishes to remain principled is like, no, we shouldn't ban them. Another part of me misses the Red Scare.
Yeah, no, they've had this coming as far as I'm concerned. Fuck them.
Marksman of 117p. Sargon, Disney's largest audience is single adults.
Yeah, weird that, isn't it? But it's only because they're not having children, so...
Yeah, and honestly, because a lot of their... okay, I was looking up, the kind of merchandise that is created these days. And a lot of this costs, $50, $60 minimum, many cases hundreds of dollars. No child is going to afford any of this shit.
Sure, but parents should be buying for their kids, right?
True, but even then, it's like your kid asks for a thing that costs $100. Like, oh, you better be real nice to me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't buy it, obviously. I'd be like, no, can't afford that.
But still, they're making them, which means there's got to be a market out there that's buying $100 Disney merchandise.
Yeah, it'll be adults.
Yeah.
They're doubtless right.
They are
I mean,
the
I've
people
been-
who are keeping them afloat.
Yeah, I've been to loads of Disney stores and stuff because my wife wants to go there and get stuff for the kids and stuff. And it's always full of millennials.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I have no real leg to complain. I purchase swords to decorate my house, so I buy useless shit all the time.
Yeah, I'm not throwing shade either. You know, if you're a millennial you like Disney, cool. You know, enjoy. Glad you're happy.
Yep. I'm just very glad that they don't sell a lot of figurines in my country, because I probably would have 500 of them, and I would feel ashamed of myself. Tarantine, Arch and Sargon, do any of you remember the cartoon The Gummy Bears? Yes, that opening song is still stuck in my head.
I mean, it's been a long time since I'll have watched it.
I remember virtually nothing about the actual show. I just remember the opening song and how amazing every opening song was back then.
Yeah.
We don't make him like that anymore.
No. The decline is real.
Mercenex anyone? Sargon, remember that video you did about meme warfare and the CIA and that office of memes? There's a hell of a lot more and a lot worse than that.
Yeah, it turns out that was correct and understating the problem.
For Jupiter, Sargon, can you get Josh to do a video on physiognomy? Physiognomy. Yeah. Are people on the left because of how they look, or do they look that way because they're on the left?
People are on the left because of the way they look. Like the kind of person that you are informs the way society responds to you. And so you'll notice that, like, look at like Pam Bondi, who is Trump's, was it Attorney General? I can't remember which one she was now. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's Attorney General. She was a Florida Attorney General. But she looks like she was one of the cast in Starship Troopers, right? Like, you'll notice that a lot of people in Trump's orbit and the people he's taking on just look like the kids in Starship Troopers, you know, the good-looking types. Whereas if you look at the people surrounding Biden and who have just been kicked out, well, they're the sort of angry, dispossessed theatre kids, right? So it's just like, look, we are actually seeing a kind of essential effect play out here, where the spiteful mutant class is being kicked out of power. Who does it? The sort of chess club? No, not the chess club. The hall monitors and the theatre kids were in a coalition in the Biden government, and they're being kicked out by the jocks and the chess club. And it's like, yeah, no, I like this analogy a lot. I think there's something to it. Base chess club.
Well, like, in some cases, like, for example, his short-lived Department of Energy minister.
Yeah.
You say you shouldn't judge a book by its covers, but this...
Yeah, I'm going to. Look at Admiral,
this was a nasty
Admiral
book.
Rachel Levine next.
Which one?
Admiral Rachel Levine.
Oh, I think I know this one.
Yeah.
Yep, I knew this one.
Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, no, I'm totally for the jocks here. Like, sorry, not having it.
This is not a woman that will inspire our men to fight.
As a member of the chess club, I'm totally for the jocks.
What was the there was one particularly cringy little dude he had.
Only one.
To be fair, fair few, but there we go. This guy.
Yeah. That was just a TikTok influencer though.
Yeah.
So not a member of the administration as such.
True, but the very fact that this guy was invited to the White House.
Yeah, but you see what I mean about the theatre kids?
Yep.
No, fuck them. Don't like them. Theatre kids out. Jocks in. Thank you very much.
Benja Thin, any word on a new election, Sargon? It's going real bad.
Lost.
Damn good down here in South London, yes sirree.
A new election? No, there's no word of an election in Britain.
Wasn't it the May election? Was that called off or something?
Oh, that's just local elections.
Okay.
Yeah, Star wants to redistrict a bunch of areas, which will cancel their elections. I don't know if it's going ahead, actually. I haven't looked. They're not that important, but like it's basically Reform's opportunity to get a bunch of seats on local councils to demoralise the Labour and Conservative Party. But since Farage is currently ahead in the polls of everyone else at this point, I don't think he's got anything to worry about. It seems at this point that reform is inevitable.
I mean, I'd let him do it and then run the next campaign on remember when they stopped your vote. Don't let them do it again.
Yeah, I mean, the Labour and Conservative Party have just run out. Right? They've lived too long, and now everyone hates them, and they're shit, and they're responsible for why Britain's a shithole. So anyone different would be good at this point.
Lurker, what I meant about D&D removing humanoid types from humanoid monsters, they can no longer be interpreted as human, aka they cannot be race-coded. Oh.
No, that's not true. Now they're going to be race-coded.
Yeah, I don't think them removing the humanoid from Orc is going to make the lefties stop going, that's a black person.
Yeah, it's just very interesting.
Yeah, because that didn't make sense to begin with. That was just them making shit up.
Yeah, I mean, no one thought that, right? Literally, no one thought Orc equals black person. They literally turned up and were like, oh, right, they're black people. It's like, no, they're Orcs.
The thought had unironically never occurred to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've played D&D since I was 13 years old. I've never heard anyone anywhere say this.
Reverend Norse, så ba de Kjodlov sterke en at han må stanse kongen mens dere er ute på Stanford-brua, og lenge holdt han skjoldbold stand mot angelsakserkongen, men unnan til med spjåte de stakk, så var de
English is
overkomne.
so obviously the superior language.
You know, I don't disagree.
I can't understand a word of what you're saying.
To be fair, that was a more olden style Norse too, so I had a hard time
I have
passing as well.
lost. Shit.
Right.
But
What was he? I heard Anglo-Saxon in there, so...
indeed, it was about the Anglo-Saxons' filthy tricks at Stamford Bridge.
Well, you know, suck it.
How they were unable to overcome a single Norwegian in terms of masculine might, so they had to stab him from below.
Yeah, right before you killed your entire army.
The feminine
I
betrayal.
have lost. Shit.
Suddenly I'm in favour of calling this a Stamford Bridge podcast.
Douglas, just wait
The
till
last
the
great
UK
Anglo-Saxon win.
snubs Trump so we can bring you freedom by annexation. I mean, maybe this is Trump just because before the election, all of the European leaders were like, oh yeah, we've got plans for Trump. Maybe this is him just rubbing their nose in it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, they've all basically bent the knee. Like, no, everyone kind of accepts this is Trump's world now.
Yeah, I kind of want him to invite Ursula von der Leyen over for dinner, have her fly to America all the way, sit her down, it's like, so, what was your plan for me, huh? Watch her squirm.
I just, like we covered last week, I just like the fact that she's just basically capitulated on everything.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to need low taxes, low tariffs, blah, 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 look, free trade, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. So the Anglos are right about everything. Got ya.
The single market will now open its borders to anyone who wishes to enter.
Yeah.
Zonta. Carl, in light of the Assad falling last month, have you reevaluated how you gather and filter geopolitical information, given how wrong you got it?
How wrong did I get it?
I don't know. Were you saying that he wasn't going to fall?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't really have a very strong opinion either way. I must have at some point made an offhand comment saying something like, I doubt it, or something like that, right? But I didn't really follow it very closely, and it was just he'd survived everything else. Why would you think that this would be the thing that would get him? You know. But he didn't even seem to make a stand in his own defense.
Ignorance a lot.
Yeah, to be fair, they kind of collapsed overnight.
Yeah, it was quite pathetic, really. But yeah, no, I mean, I didn't realize I had a hard position on it, frankly.
Maybe the CIA checks stopped coming, and so all of his soldiers deserted.
Maybe. Who fucking knows?
Marksman 117B, new Civ game is just Bridge called the game. I had a brief look at Civ 7. I'll stream it tomorrow. It does not look good.
Heresy's the question.
No.
Fire
No.
is the answer.
The UI in particular is atrocious. It's ugly, big, blocky, and worst part, it's not functional either. And the changes, like, you know how previously you can choose your map size, right? Like small, tiny, and there's like massive, huge, and so on.
Yeah.
Now you can choose between tiny, small, and standard.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate having those options taken away.
Yeah.
But there's one thing I hated in games. It's just having too many choices.
Yeah. And it was probably because they're going to release this on console now. So all of the cool things you like on PC, well, consoles can't run that. So
Good point. Yeah.
we're just going to have to take it out.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
Jesus is here. Look busy. Hi, chaps. Speaking of military music, are there any particular marches or other piece of martial music that you like or would recommend? Love the show.
Service guarantees citizenship.
I don't really have one.
See, that's a crime, Sargon, because you Brits in
I know.
particular actually have a lot of good ones.
I know. I just don't. I'm not very good with them.
It's like Long Way to Tipperary, that's a classic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Grenadiers March, another one.
Yeah. I'm not saying that we don't have good ones. I'm saying I don't have a particular favorite. You know.
I have to go for the Russian Katyusha because it has an anime girl cover.
God.
Simple as. Although American war music, honestly, is not bad either. You know, you've got some good ones from the Civil War, Yellow Rose of Texas, or Over There. That one's a good one from the First World War. Hell, I'd even argue that stuff like Fortunate Son is basically American martial music at this point. Rubberleg623, I'll agree with you, Arch, that AI is making art that is almost indistinguishable from real, but for me at least, there is always an almost uncanny valley look to it whenever I see it. Both safe work and not safe work. It still has some teething
Heresy's
issues.
the question. Fire is the answer.
Natorian, to be fair, most upvotes on Facebooks are bots. Wouldn't surprise me. Dr. T Money Dog, AI can make the highest quality slop. It can create anything that has already been made, but cannot create what has not been created, at least when it comes to art, music, etc. Well, sort of, but this also kind of leads back to the myth of true originality, in that most things have
Service guarantees
already been created
citizenship.
somewhere, somehow.
It's
Some
not even
element
just
of it.
that. It's not. Yeah. Well, it's not even just that. All knowledge that we have is drawn from the world, and even like someone going back to like Descartes in the 17th century was like, there's nothing original that can be made. Even things that are original are just chimeras of other things that already exist. For example, a minotaur is a man with a bull's head, etc., etc. Right? So you can't ever think of something you have no frame of reference for. Like, it's just not possible.
It's like thinking of the sound 2.
Yeah,
The sound of the number 2.
But like, just, I mean, I've tried this before as well. I remember being quite young and being frustrated by noticing this exact issue, right? But like, how would you come up with something that you had no frame of reference for? So like, I don't know, like a tentacle or something. No, I know what a tentacle is. So I want something to do something, but I would have to have an understanding of the thing I want done, right? And so there's going to be a kind of way that nature has accommodated that thing being done. and therefore I will say, okay, I know how, there is something I already know, right? Everything is always an amalgamation of something else.
Yep. Even the unspeakable Cthulhian horrors are usually just tentacles, eyeballs, mouths.
Teeth. Yeah.
So the problem is, so long as AI manages to expand its reference frame, it can come up with pretty much anything.
Yeah, also there's no limit to what it can mix together.
Fire is the answer.
Sorry, breaking news.
Ooh.
Politico have put out a note to our readers. There's been a subject of debate on X this week. Some of it's been misinformed, some of it's been flat out false. I'm sure the rest of it's been true. Politico is a privately owned company. We've never received any government funding. No subsidies, no grants, no handouts. Not one dime ever in 18 years. Yeah, you just have Politico Pro. It's a professional subscription service used by companies, organizations, and yes, some governmental agencies. Right. So you created a 14 grand a year thing, and people who don't have to pay with their own fucking money are funneling this money to you. We know, Politico. We fucking know how the grift works. And that's why you should subscribe to Lotsitas Pro. Only $20,000 a year.
A steal.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in the government, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't the BBC pay for this?
Exactly.
There we go. Note to our reader. I think I found it.
Yeah.
So, we have never received any government funding except for Politico. I love that. Politico Pro is different. How so? How do you reckon?
So we did receive government funding,
Fire is the answer.
just not officially.
Yeah, we did receive the money, but it's different, bro. that really is. It's not gay if you say it.
So have you noticed the uptick of Indians running Western Patriot accounts?
I have lost.
No.
No? Oh, I'll send you an example, right? And the thing is, I'm not saying they're good or bad, right? But you get this sort of thing. Like, if you look at that guy's account, he was revealed to be some Indian guy who's just essentially grifting on Twitter, which, okay, fair enough. I understand. I totally understand. But this got me thinking, how many Indians are on Twitter? Like, I could use Grok to generate, like, 1 million Indian patriots kicking Islam out of India, blah, 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 right? And, get millions of views, get, banging numbers. But then it occurs to me that if I did this, I might actually start an ethnic cleansing in the subcontinent. I actually didn't want that on my conscience. Like, it's one thing like Indians doing it to Westerners who are obviously not going to do anything. But you do it the other way around.
Well, this is one of those things that was inevitable. As our side gains prominence, we are going to attract a lot of people who are basically leeches.
Yeah, grifters.
Yeah, we are going to see a lot of people who did nothing to get here, who, now that we have made the ground safe, now that we have fought for this for 10 years under attack, are going to move on in and go, hey, there's money to be made here.
And I'm not even angry about it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, well, at least that means we're winning.
It is, but it's like the defender of Western values and culture, embracing heritage, strength and unity, follow to uphold the legacy of the West. Jesus Christ is king. It's like every right-wing buzzword in one little character bio.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. Fine, I don't care. It's just annoying I can't do the Indian version because I don't want to get people killed.
Boycott Warhammer Plus. I do predict a massive anti-tech, anti-neo, hipster-esque movement by the Gen Alphas and Betas in the future. Goon Potters versus Wastelanders of the real. There's going to be an anti-AI movement as it starts stealing more and more people's jobs. I don't know if it'll be effective.
No,
honestly, I'm more worried for the AI rights movement.
Yeah. The anti-AI people are just going to be angry Luddites, and I know because I'm one of them. but we're not going to be able to stop AI from doing stuff. So the question will be, essentially, how privileged does AI become in society?
Yes. And
so,
yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Well, the thing is, this is a very easy thing for the human mind to fall into. Prime example was the recent video of Kai Cenat and his friends kicking a robot.
Yeah, I saw that. And the thing is, like, the dude is right. He's like, I'm controlling it. It's not a problem, blah, blah, blah. And we just wanted to see how well it works, right? Which is totally fair. But the thing is, people only saw that one clip of like 3 black guys kicking this robot, and they were like, okay, well, this isn't good. And it made them sympathetic to the robot, because the robot obviously wasn't doing anything and looked completely helpless. But what this does is highlight the problem with, not the problem, but like a vulnerability in human empathy when it comes to this subject, because it will be easy to make people feel sorry for something, and suddenly it's like, oh no, robot rights. And it's like, because it makes people think that the people around it are bad people, whereas it's just a robot. And the guy, I watched a video on it, because he was on the stream going, look, I paid 70 grand for this, I should be able to do it. Well, I liked it. Yeah, I agree. It's just a piece of technology, but sensitive people who are who project onto it as if it's a pet or something. And it's just like, no, that's just what we're projecting. It's just what we're projecting. It's not got feelings. It's not a person. It's just a robot. Fucking stop projecting onto it.
Yeah, like even Ian Armstrong's take here is completely wrong. Abusing a robot seems so wrong. That's anthropomorphizing. It's going like, oh, it's a person.
Seems so wrong.
Yeah, and if this thing has AI built in, it's going to remember the trauma. The AI has no concept of trauma.
Yeah. It's fucking AI.
Yes, the robot doesn't understand you bullying it. It can't understand. It can't understand fear, pain, trauma, any of this.
Yep.
What we are seeing is the robot, like when it starts freaking out, is the robot trying to regain its balance and being at such an angle that it needs to do drastic movements to try to do so. But our mind then goes like, oh my god, it's trying to run away. Like, no, it's just pathfinding.
Yeah. You're projecting yourself onto the robot. It's literally, and we know this because we know exactly how the robot works. It's not that it's the animal trying to escape or something. No, it's a fucking robot. It's got no feelings. It's not human. It's literally a simulacrum of a biped. That's all it is, and you're projecting onto it things you ought not to project onto it.
Yes.
So I sent you a link there, and this I thought was really interesting. No, this is really, really good, right? Just can you play that video?
I can. Let's see.
You want to do this? Watch what I do, and then I'm going to give you some pens, okay? Are you ready? What a nice picture this is, huh, Governor? You ready? We'll do a good job. Wait, let me...
Can you make it bigger just so people can see it properly?
I want to make this a really good signature, because this is a big one, right? Oh, I think we have a 10. We have a 10.
God bless you, Mr.
Pretty good, huh? I see that. Okay? Good. Now you're going to go out and win those events, right?
Heresy is
Nice
the
to
question.
see you all.
Fire is the answer.
Great going, everybody. Nice to see you. Thank you, kids. Here, take a pen. I'll give some of these out, okay? Take a pen, take a pen.
See, isn't that just the most wholesome thing you've ever fucking seen?
Ignorant slut.
And on so many levels. Because
Right.
this brings to mind every time you've seen an obvious man just slam a woman into a wrestling mat, for example.
Yes.
So this is him protecting a generation of young women who might now actually be able to do sport without having a man beat the shit out of them.
And not just beat the shit out of them, humiliate them as well, right? Like, yeah, it's one thing having the shit beaten out of you, but to know that you will never win a woman's competition because some fetishist is going to come in, beat you up with an erection, and then take your fucking prize means you don't even compete, right? So you're just living under this cloud of humiliation. And Trump has stepped in. He's like this literally 8-year-long battle that Trump has fought. And he's got to this point where he's won everything. Trump won everything that there is to win. And what does he do? Right? He sat there, he gets all the kids, all these little girls in, like, come out, look, we're going to sign this. And I love the way he's saying it. It's like, oh, we've got to make this a good signature. There's got to be a 10. I think that's a 10. That's so adorable, right? Congratulates them. Like, you know, everyone, I'm doing this for you. Like, Trump gains nothing out of this, right? Trump personally stands to gain nothing from making sure young girls don't get dominated by young boys and girls' sports, right? It's just the right thing to do. And the way he interacts with them is just so grandfatherly. Compare that to Joe Biden, right? Joe Biden has a weird way of dealing with kids, and kids don't like being around him. But with Trump, they look totally relaxed, totally comfortable, and Trump's totally comfortable around them because he is, of course, a grandfather. You know, he obviously loves kids. You know, in like a wholesome way, not a Joe Biden way. And like, so when he reaches over and like shakes a hand on one of the girls, you know, she's not weird. None of them flinch. You know, none of them are weird. Like, but that's what happened with Biden, right? And so you've got all of that, and then if you just zoom back and look at the scene, it's Trump surrounded by a bunch of very normal girls who, you know, you give them the pens as well. Give them the fucking pens. So, oh, here's a memento. Take this home with you, you know? Like, this is just such a lovely image. Like, the whole thing is just wholesome Americana. And it's just like, wow, this everything Trump did was worth it for that picture, man. That is so good. It's so good. And like this, I used it as the thumbnail image of the video I did today. Because it's like, no, this is what the win looks like. This is what the win looks like. You don't have some black transgender freak, like, you know, undressing in the middle of the fucking White House or something like you did under Biden. No, you've got normal people, normal families, normal kids being normal. Right? Just and doing something that's just the right thing to do. That's what winning is. That's it.
And again, you're protecting the next generation of young girls from
A la mexicana.
this, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult to disagree with that. Very difficult.
Yeah.
And again, just another excellent optic win.
Oh, it just looks so good. Like Trump just surrounded by all these young girls and just they're all smiling and happy and like pleased to be there. And his the way he deals with them, very natural. You know, there's nothing unnatural about it at all. You know, it's the most calm, relaxed granddad Trump. That's what that is. And it's just like, oh, this is exactly right. Exactly how these things need to be done.
Fear not, little child. I will make it so that in the future you will not get your shit kicked in by an obvious man.
Yeah, and Joe Biden is literally not going to molest you.
Yeah, Joe Biden is going to sniff you here, and then you're going to get beat up. I'm going to do the opposite.
yeah. Or Granddad Trump comes in and stops all that from happening. I love it.
Yeah, no. The narrative literally then becomes, obviously so, Trump protecting the kids.
Yeah, he is. Literally protecting kids and young women from being beaten up by men.
Yeah,
like,
get sniffed and beat up or win a gold medal.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it could not be better. Could not be better.
Matt.
And not only that, just a quick thing. Like every Republican who worked to make that come about, you should feel proud of yourselves.
Yeah.
Like everyone who voted for him, everyone who campaigned for him, everyone who's posting on social media, like just everyone made this possible. You know, Trump stands at the top of all of that.
Matt WB, a political commentator that I watch, Black Conservative Perspective, has started referring to the Democratic Party as the party of weirdos, freaks, low testosterone men, and high calorie women.
It's a bit of a mouthful, but it's completely accurate.
It is. It's very descriptive. Very descriptive, in fact. Rubberleg623, you don't understand. If we cut funding to USAID, we are bad people who don't care for the common man. Yet we are
Correct.
imperialists for removing terrorist governments.
Well, the thing is, right, like, you go to any place, right, any national park, any fucking thing, there's a sign saying don't feed the animals because they become dependent. And that's just a truism that works for everything, right? By giving these people free money, it doesn't get to them anyway. It keeps corrupt governments in power, but also it means they're not getting anywhere on their own. You know, you're keeping them in a state of arrested development.
You are. Let's see here. There we go. Yep. And just to demonstrate that, whenever this is brought up, I just go to Google and I enter hunger crises in Africa. And every time there is a new one. There we go.
True. Yes, correct.
Starvation risks rises. Every time there's an article less than a week old going, Africa starving. Like, trillions of dollars in aid have been poured into this continent for decades upon decades upon decades. They're
My
still
entire
hungry.
life. And the thing is, it's because they're just full of corrupt governments, right? And what we're doing with the aid is propping up their corrupt governments, so they never get any better. Like, it never will get better while we're giving them money. That's how it works.
Yeah, the world hunger map. The entire rest of the world is like, yeah, we don't really care. And then there's Africa. It's like, yep, we don't have any food. Even South Africa is at moderate risk of hunger.
Well, yeah, of course it is. They've got a corrupt government that's stealing from their own people. Of course it's got a moderate risk of hunger.
It's not a problem we can solve with money. It's that simple. We've tried to solve with money.
It's not even that. Our money is part of the reason it doesn't get better. Like, they've got to earn their own money and they've got to do it fairly. And if we stop giving their politicians money, their politicians have to stop bribing people.
Service guarantees citizenship.
It's this circle of bribery that keeps them in this arrested development. If we don't stop bribing giving their politicians money to bribe people, then the whole thing ends up stopping eventually.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'm sure of it.
I think it will take them a while before they'd eventually figure that part out, as I think they'll just start bribing each other with cows and chickens like they used to.
Well, maybe, but like, we pay for the protection of corrupt politicians.
Yes.
We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't be doing that. Let there be revolutions. Let them, let the population do what they ought to be doing in circumstances like this.
I think that would only be more tribal wars at that point.
Well, yeah, it is. But, like, nature needs to take its course.
Nature. Isolate Africa for about 100 years, then re-enter Africa, present yourself as gods, and then put down the law.
Africa isn't quite that backwards. Just FYI.
After 100 years of tribal warfare, I'm not so sure. The Wholesome, I wish Dev was on last week to watch his god fail. Trudeau.
Oh, right.
He's not that big of a simp for Trudeau.
No, I don't think Dev does actually like Trudeau.
Anti-hero, good evening, gentlemen. I've learned today that friendship is magic, but magic is heresy. What explains the lack of ponies in 40k? Oh, don't worry. 40k and My Little Ponies actually have a remarkably large overlapping fandom, so...
Yeah, I fucking bet they do.
Yeah. MLP and 40k art is surprisingly common.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Let's see. Let's find a choice one. There you go. There's a surprisingly large overlap between the two. Sinestro comment. So if the US taxpayers were funding the BBC, should we start applying for UK citizenship and vote for an MP or two? Or can we just conquer the UK now?
I mean, to be fair, you probably don't even need to be a citizen to vote for an MP or two.
Now, you can just get into Britain along the time of the election. I'm sure you'll be able to vote.
Yeah.
Why not? Hexy, how will Zelensky get cocaine without US aid? That's difficult to say, but I'm sure he'll make an effort.
I'm sure he's got enough money stashed away for, to be able to supply himself for the rest of his fucking natural life.
Yeah, I mean, if he's clever, he should have built up a storehouse by now.
Well, he had, before the Ukraine war started, he had like $750 billion in a bank.
Jesus.
He was already nearly a billionaire. It's like, how did a comedian get that rich? He must have been really fucking funny.
Well, he did dress up in a dress once, so...
I have lost. Shit.
Grammatron 3000, 500 regulations waiting, and they're complaining that they're not being implemented fast enough. I have an idea. How about you don't implement them? That was my solution, but no. Instead, the complaint was that we wouldn't rubber stamping them quickly enough. The bureaucrats in Brussels are out-bureaucratizing us.
I hate the bureaucrats so much.
I think they hate us too. I just get that feeling. Tarateen still hate that the boomers are still voting Labour because that's what they've always done. So that's the reason they still continue.
Maybe. I don't know if they're going to, though. Like, actually, it's more likely than what it is government employees who are voting Labour. Because remember, the NHS employs 1 million plus people itself. And then we've got 500,000 more civil servants. And God only knows how many people in local councils and fucking, social services, the police. But it's all, honestly, I think that Labour's entire voter base is just going to be the public sector. And because it's so bloated, it's going to account for about a quarter of the population. I'm not joking either. I wish I was joking.
You're making a fine argument for withdrawing the franchise from public servants.
Yeah, and you know what? I would definitely be up for hearing that. I think there's definitely a legitimate argument to be made.
Marksman 7170 going back to the start of the stream.
Quick thing. I'm going to tweet that out. I'm going to tweet that out with the poll.
God damn it, stealing my ideas again. Have any of you two seen Hate Monger Sermon by Flash? Flash Kids would recommend a watch. Eventually. Sooner or later. Soon. Probably. Syntho, they weren't naive. They got 70% of that back through the back door. Oh, now they're just doubling down. Like, we received the money, but we're going to say we didn't, hoping that they'll be dumb enough to send more. Hexy, FBI, CIA, NSA, TSA, they all don't have to exist. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Mark H. On your last ArchCast, I was shocked that a godless atheist like you understood the verse about hardening Pharaoh's heart better than most Christians. Well, because it's pretty obvious. Let's be fair here. The whole God killing the Egyptians is not the most subtle of references.
Yeah, look, we're godless atheists, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah, come on. Scarf of the Strange. Cortez, we won. We can stop slaughtering natives now. Tlaxcalteca. No, Cortez. Ah, right. Cortez's alliance with the locals. Well, they were helpful for a while. For Jupiter, how I started with leftists. They're not evil, they just don't know any better. How I am with leftists now. Every word you speak inches me to Pinochet. The eccentric Ripper, Gaza is sovereign American soil, Arch. Accept it. Do you really want another expensive foreign adventure.
Well, again, if they are basically going to literally clear out all of the Palestinians from Gaza, is it the same? Is it an expensive foreign venture, or is it a business opportunity?
We'll see, but every time the US has claimed some clay outside of America, they've usually abandoned it shortly thereafter to goat herders.
No, that's just literally Iraq and Afghanistan, which were never viable prospects anyway.
Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam. The Americans did not have a good fucking history with this shit.
Well, they were never trying to take over Vietnam. They were trying to prevent the communists from taking it over.
Yeah, they failed at that too.
Well, yeah, I know.
America and long-term occupation of anything, even protectivist, has had a poor history.
Well, the thing is, the way I'm looking at it is if they properly colonize it, then it'll be different.
Yes, but they're going to need to adapt far more stringent policies for that.
Yes. All I'm saying is imperialism is back.
We can but hope. Cody Opperman, Dad's cancer is back. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, dude. Thanks for entertaining me, Arch. Get someone on with Lum Lum to gush over Epic the Musical. Please, even if it's got to be me. Epic the Musical. I'll look into it. Vitaly Klimenchuk, the entirety of Zoomer relationship is summed up by that comment from the Orifice AI page. It won't love you like a real woman, neither will you. Have you seen Orifice AI yet, Sargon?
I have not, and I can only assume what it is. Do I need to guess from the name?
Well, someone decided to put a fleshlight in a box, mount some red and blue glowing lights on it, and interpose an AI into it. So it's got AI now.
No kidding.
Yeah. So there you go. I don't know if AI was strictly necessary for the
Yeah, what was the point?
AI mounted, the fleshlight mounted to a desk, but there we are. I'm not convinced this is the robot girlfriend that everybody's looking forward to, but hey, we gotta start somewhere. Even if it is a humble beginning.
The Japanese will perfect it.
Probably.
Because what is wrong with Japanese men, right? So yeah, we have unlimited access to Japanese women, and it's like, yeah, so I'm gonna make a fucking robot. So why? What's wrong with Japanese women that you need to make a fucking robot?
Well, the problem is that they also have access to Japanese cartoon women who, unfortunately, are, in most cases, vastly superior.
Yeah, but, like, Japanese women are very attractive. What is their problem?
Again, 2D women, better. Well, that and the fact that they work themselves to death half the time.
Maybe, I guess. What I'm saying is, if I lived in Japan, I'd have a very nice Japanese wife and I'd be very happy. You can do the same, Japanese bros.
You could. Usli says, Trump is right. Gaza is free for the taking. Free Gaza. Oh, free Gaza.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's real estate, isn't it?
Why you hating? No to Gaza. No more Middle East misadventures. We got enough problems in the USA to fix first. I would agree. Listen, the Middle East, it's just not worth it, bros. It's just not fucking worth it. Danny D, the Gaza.
They're already fucking paying for it. So, like, you know, why not?
Why not? Dandy, the Gaza plan sounds a lot like how NATO runs Kosovo because the locals can't be trusted, and that works. Plus, if enough money is coming in and going, they'll be too fat and happy to do much.
Well, that's the thing. I imagine that to steelman Trump's plan, right? You'd be like, right, okay, so give me like 2 years. You spend your 2 years in a refugee camp in Jordan or Egypt or something, right? And I'm going to build an incredible, like, because he said he's going to clear out the ruins, which is basically all of Gaza City. So basically he's going to rebuild everything in Gaza, right? So, okay, so they build, like, you know, amazing modern fucking things, no expense spared because it's America, blah, blah, blah. I mean, even if there are going to be some who are like, no, death to Israel forever, blah, blah, blah. But most of them are like, yeah, you know what, this is all right, though. You know, I'd rather just enjoy this, you know? So over time, that cohort is going to just stop existing.
I don't know. There have been many attempts to westernize the Middle East. The only one
It's
that
not
has
the
succeeded
entire Middle
was...
East, it's just the Gaza Strip.
Still, like, the only one that succeeded was when we dumped the Jews on top of them and went like, here, have this.
See? It can be done.
I think we have better chances to just make greater Israel, honestly.
I think Trump can do it. And honestly, that's probably Netanyahu's plan anyway. So.
Tanushi, instead of Caesar, Trump is becoming Alexander the Great. The Gaza plan is like cutting the Gordian knot.
It kind of is. And what I love about it is just how off on the back foot everyone was. Trump's like, yeah, we're taking it over. And it was like, no, I don't have an answer for that. You know, I've got an answer for, like, splitting it up this way or having a one-state solution. No, we've got answers for all that. But we don't have an answer for Trump saying, I'm having it.
Yep. That was not something anybody had really ever considered, unfortunately.
No, which is brilliant.
And document, Trump will turn it into the Book-ease strip? Bukies?
Bucky's.
Buckies?
It's a restaurant franchise.
Ah. Well, there you go. Just one very large restaurant.
But yeah, no, I mean, you know, it'll probably be quite nice.
We can but hope. Axiom Seraph, when's the war game you are making, and what is it? Well, to know that, you need to be a patron, because I tease you with that occasionally. Give me money. I might give you information. Scarfy the Strange, Trump going to call in the Mongols on Gaza. I mean, that'd be kind of funny.
Just saying nothing else has worked, right?
Yeah, we settled, Israel with the Jews, and that worked. So what if we try Gaza with Mongolians? Why not?
So you never hear much news out of Mongolia these days, do you?
Yeah, they seem a peaceful enough lot.
No, what are they planning?
Dark Resurrect. New USA law just dropped. Apparently 125 million was spent to radicalize public health. Remind me why I pay my taxes.
Oh, God.
Well, you pay your taxes so that the other arm of the US government, the enforcement arm, doesn't come and beat you up.
Yeah.
Sentinel Rex. Trump knows Israel is not our friend, and he put the Israeli president in an awkward position where he had to just smile and agree.
Yeah, I know.
That's kind of what he did. He's like, Hella, I'm gonna take your girlfriend away. I'm gonna make her better than she's ever been. Right next to him.
Yeah, but the thing is, then Netanyahu's like, "Oh, I've got your golden pager." It's like, I don't think you should take that, Mr. Trump. I just don't think you need to take that.
Yeah, Trump took that with good humor, but I would have looked at that very suspiciously. Like, what is this?
Yeah, I'd have been like, no.
That might have been the moment he decided, like, I think I'm gonna take over Gaza now.
Yeah.
You did not take the piss out of me, you tiny little bastard. Frog Jupiter, on the topic of American imperialism, as a southerner, if we can't be independent, no one can. We have precedent with the Philippines.
Good point. Well, I'm pretty sure you did give the Philippines back.
Yeah, tragically they did do that.
Yeah.
That was silly.
I mean, Guam and various others.
Sean Arikali, with Trudeau stepping down from Prime Minister in Canada, Parliament is prorogued. Prorogued?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Which means that the Canadian border project was on hold till a new PM was picked. Trump forced them to commit with this move. Oh.
Ah.
There you go. Miss Next Anyone. So Jim might have to eat crow. An orange man bad may say Gamergate did nothing wrong. Looks like Gamergate was a huge target of the deep state. I find it funny that the deepest found us as a threat.
Well, I can't believe that, like, they started it a decade ago. And now it's literally the meme. Why did you make me do this? I just wanted to play video games. It's like, no. Now we get the big orange dictator literally tearing out your fucking funding by the roots and destroying everything you ever built. So you could have left our video games alone, bro.
There was no need for any of this.
Yeah. It didn't have to happen, but you made it happen, and now it's happening, so fucking suck it. You know, if you think you're getting any mercy from me, you're fucking wrong.
What we need now is for Trump to declare that the Statue of Liberty will be turned back to its original state when it was gold before all the corrosion set in.
Why not? Why not polish the Statue of fucking Liberty, man?
Yep. No, unironically, he should do it. It would be
Yeah.
a beacon to his presidential rule for decades and decades.
Bronze is a beautiful metal as well. It's the best looking metal by far. Like, there's no reason not to do it. It looked amazing.
Okay, people are going, oh, but it'll be really expensive. Just take all of the money you were supposed to send to Africa and polish the statue.
And really, how expensive is it going to be to polish a fucking statue?
Well, they'd probably have to build a custom scaffolding for the entire thing, so not cheap. But
Well, build it then. Get on with it. Like,
with everything they've saved, they could easily do it.
yeah, exactly. This is a worthwhile thing, having a glorious... Because the thing is, it would flash in the sun. It would look so good. It would be a beacon. It'd be genuinely brilliant. It'd embody the golden age.
And it would be the biggest middle finger ever to the populace of New York City. They'd be reminded of Trump every time they looked out into the harbor. Definitely. And again, use the money you were supposed to send to foreign countries. Oh, it'll be brilliant. Fantastic symbol.
Yeah.
Animate acumen, leave them. Even if those services apologize, it's not a legitimate apology. They will simply be more subtle later. Leave them to their fate.
Agreed.
Finn Khan, Arch, every Latino hated the Primos show. I know. My friend Lum Lum dislikes that show strongly.
They hated what?
The Primos, the Disney show I showed you.
Oh, yeah.
Mercy Next Anyone, Disney got CIA funding and help for the Florida park. What have they buried underneath Disneyland, and does it shoot lasers?
Oh, good question.
Marksman of 117B, they don't mention that the subs auto-renew. I mean, they always do.
Yeah.
Mercy Next Anyone, I've said this to raise a fist to smash everyone. There's no such thing as coincidence. This whole time, the conspiracies were all true. And going to be worse.
Yep.
And a document, men cannot merely be friends, is a female projection that they lust after everyone.
No, it's not. It's not. Women know that men can be friends. Women are totally aware. Like, it's a woke gay thing.
Yes. Yeah, very much so. It's the shipping people. The shipping people are terrible.
Yeah. But it's very much a sort of millennial, I've watched too much porn thing.
T Down Under, gentlemen, do you think that Dev will stop trying to hang around center and right streamers now his USA discuss?
I don't know.
I hope Dev was smart enough to take the money.
Yeah, me too.
I want to believe.
Like, why wouldn't you, Dev?
Mercy Next Anyone, the soft part book proves it's all malicious. Soft part book?
The what?
I don't know.
You ignorant slut.
Animate Acumen, stop Asian hate. Not in Assassin's Creed Shadows, you don't.
The videos are just so brutal looking.
They are. They look terrible.
Yeah, I know. So bad.
The Traveler, the Brazilian president, said that if Trump puts a tariff on Brazilian porks, the US is the one getting its economy ruined, because according to him, they need us. Thanks for the stream.
Service
Oh yeah, I'm
guarantees
sure Brazil will
citizenship.
be the one that brings down Trump.
You know, the worst part is Brazil should be a serious economic power. They have access to unfathomable resources which they just refuse to use.
Yep. Well, I mean, if Bolsonaro was in charge, everything would be fine in Brazil.
Mercenaries anyone? A fan with too much time? Star Wars is Warhammer crossover is the best story that is. Listen to it. He's got over a dozen chapters alone. It's a reprieve. Maybe I will at some point. Frog Jupiter, Sargon, can you get... Harrison Jordan, redirect, there we go. Some of this ECEGS dollars to Jonathan Young to write heavy metal hymns of the greatness of American hegemony. Also give the Imperium of Man a shot.
I mean, they'll probably end up doing that for free. Just have a natural yearning.
Okay, correct. The Gene Stealers would have a field day with infiltration in the Star Wars universe because the Star Wars universe isn't universally xenophobic. Oh yes, they would have a lot of fun. Honestly, I expect to see just like with the grifter account, I expect to see a massive uptick in patriotic entertainment just because of the innate, groupishness of humanity, you know?
Yeah.
The team is winning.
Yeah, we're winning, therefore, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, the team is winning, get excited. Maranga 2, is kebab slop? Of course it is.
Well, no.
Yes, it is.
Putting meat and veg in bread, that's not slop.
If it was just the meat and veg, but then you fill it with all kinds of gooey stuff.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure it can be made into slop, but intrinsically it's not, I'd say.
Like, this is definitely slop. It looks homoerotic. It's disgusting.
The ingredients are distinguishable from one another.
Barely.
I think you're being too stringent.
I will be a zealot on this topic.
My Protestant senses are tingling.
I mean, it gets worse, too. Look, this is... No. All Mexican food. All Mexican food is slop.
Kebabs aren't Mexican food.
No, kinda.
Service
No, it's
guarantees
no
citizenship.
Middle Eastern food.
It's the same. It's the Mexicans of Europe. Same thing.
I mean, that is true, but there is a weird amount of crossover between Mexico and Turkey.
Unironically, yes. If you look at Turkish food, a lot of that is very similar to Mexican food.
But also the way Turks illegally enter Europe as well. So,
That too.
And they're actually riding around Germany waving Turkish flags. It's like, okay, well, great, we'll send them back. No, my life is over. You can't send me back to Turkey. It's like, what?
But Habibi, you have a vacation home there. What's so bad about it?
Yeah, don't you come from there? It can't be that bad.
Cyphers Tarleton. I watched your Conrad Kerr's video many, many years ago and found Sargon via your channel. It's odd that such small things had such a large impact on my life. Thank you, both of you. You're very welcome. Happy to hear it.
Yeah, me too.
Golden Fleece Games. The CIS didn't win instantly because Palpatine was using the war to gather power in the Chancellorship. Yes, that is the actual logical reason why the system of independent... What was it? The system of independent systems?
I can't remember.
Something like that. But yeah, so Palpatine was working against both sides, making sure the war would continue so he could get more political power.
Mm-hmm.
They did that storyline much better in the Clone Wars TV series, where you constantly see him voting for more executive power, like getting control over the banks, getting control of the military, getting control over legislative branches, and so on. Mercenaries in 1, Darth Jar Jar forever, Disney Wars never. There is a very good case for Darth Jar Jar being what George Lucas actually intended to happen.
I wouldn't be fucking surprised.
It would have been a twist. Trevor Noah, Arch, you should read the Republic Commando series by Karen Travis. I think you'd find the perspective of clone Spec Ops interesting. Probably would. But then I would need to put down the massive ass book I'm reading on the First World War to read it, and I don't know if I want to do that. T. Forspark, howdy. Anywhere in UK you'd suggest for a vacation?
Well, I mean, loads of places. Durham's nice, Bath's nice, Lake District's nice. Probably, depends what you're after, but like Scottish Highlands are interesting. Northern Ireland's nice. Wales are nice. Just nowhere in the sort of middle of England or London.
Visit England. Experience what it is to be oppressed and sad. There's a reason why the English decided to plant their flag on most other corners of the globe. It's because they didn't want to be in England.
No, England's amazing. It's just filled with foreigners.
It's a tremendous amount of cope there.
No. I would strongly recommend Wells in Somerset. Unbelievably beautiful little English village, town, with an incredible cathedral. Incredible cathedral. The best cathedral I've ever seen. I've seen lots of cathedrals. Definitely recommend that.
You did build impressive houses to protect yourself from the shit weather, it shall be said.
Well, the weather's only shit in the winter. In the summer, an English summer is a lovely thing. And the thing is, it's not even that bad in the winter. It's just dreary in the winter, but the winters, come and go.
Presses X.
But it's really not that bad. Like, the English weather is not that bad. I think that the stereotype comes from like Victorian smog, which I think was pollution, rather than the actual environment.
Reverend Norse, did you miss my super chat, Arch? I did not. It's just that I was prioritizing you based on how much money you gave me. Which is a wise way to prioritize you.
Yeah, come on. Who in the chat is a communist and disagrees?
Yes. Brandon for 10, 2 questions. Did Veggie Tales ever make it out of the US? And did either of you watch it when you were kids? Reminding me when you talked about the Prince of Egypt last podcast. Veggie Tales. I've
never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither. I never heard about that. Google it. Yeah, no, I've never seen this. It's talking vegetables.
Yeah, I guess that didn't make it out.
Mercenaries Anyone. We're going to Narge. We're gonna see how much theater everything was, and when it's all revealed, we're gonna be shocked at how biblical it was.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna make Sodom and Gomorrah look fucking tame.
Tanushi, Sargon, which one will be reality first? Labour becoming entirely replaced by an Islamic party, or Norse fire being a real party in the majority?
What's Norse fire?
Not a clue.
I don't know. I don't know, I'm afraid.
Oh, it was from V from Vendetta, the Ingsoc company.
Oh, right, okay.
Norse fire? Why would you call it Norse fire? That's silly. We're not oppressive. Well, except for taxes, I guess. Animate Acumen, can we please remove coded from the lexicon? No.
No, it's a useful term.
Mercenaries Anyone. Orange Man is not rubbing anyone's nose in anything. It's all theater to the real stuff that's coming. And be ready for the underground tunnels. The tunnels. What tunnels?
I don't know, but I can't wait to find out.
JW, hearing you guys philosophically roast Ursula over the compass with horizontal pillars made me cry laughing, lol. It was a very bad metaphor, what can I say?
Well, yeah, I mean, like the pillars of the compass, what are you fucking talking about, Ursula?
Yep. Then they become horizontal pillars.
Yes. That's how pillars work. Someone who's never built anything in her entire life.
There was a third one, too, that I've forgotten about now. She had 3 idiocies in her little compass.
Did she? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember the third one either. Dean Domino 25. Carl, remember, your video lamenting modern architecture is in fast food places in order to be lost. Turns out USAID was the cause, at least for Pizza Hut.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to look awful.
It doesn't. We don't have to build terrible-looking things.
Yeah, it's literally not mandatory.
I just got here. The question... Oh, Zero Fighter. I just got here. The question I had from the beginning of the podcast is, why haven't you called it the Eurocast?
What?
The Eurocast.
Why would we call it that?
Yeah, me, I don't either. Because we're not Europhiles or weirdos.
Yeah.
Certified Auto. Hassan vs. Ethan is retarded because it's Ethan pointing out the obvious, and Ethan hasn't been subtle that what he was a lefty. I think it's intentionally sweeping because even Hassan didn't deny. Yeah, I gotta be uncharitable here and say that this sounds a lot like Ethan basically seeing the winds turning and going, I would like to be on the other side of this conflict.
I think there's also a degree of kind of ignorance, just like, oh, I didn't think he was that bad. No, he was. He was exactly that bad. And Hassan getting worse is reflecting badly on Ethan.
Yeah, and there's probably also just a sense of personal betrayal in that.
Yeah.
It must be humiliating to know you were just bamboozled for 2 years by someone who watches fucking Islamist propaganda videos singing about beheadings.
Yeah, I mean, like, Hassan has definitely got more mask off than he used to.
He has, but he wasn't good on leftovers either.
No.
Janine Cat, check out Drifters, an insane anime about historical figures duking it out in a fancy world to prevent human genocide.
I have lost.
By the creator of Hellsing. I think I saw that one, actually.
I've never heard of it.
Mercenary1, did you read my Sargon message about Jim, Mr. Metica? I did. Mr. Metica, it's cringe to try and change the world. Well...
Too late.
Worked out pretty well in the end. Karala, hey Sargon, my brother showed me your Hillary must lose video days before the 2016 election, and it permanently altered my political development. Thanks. Also, know what happened to Louis Levi?
Yeah, I don't know why Louis Levi doesn't make videos or anything. I think he just got frustrated with commentary or something and kept doing his regular job, which is annoying because I enjoyed his commentaries a lot, but what can you do?
I mean, that's the thing with YouTube. It's a great job, but boy, can it suck sometimes.
Yeah.
Prof. Slorjon K. There is nothing new under the sun. Ecclesita. Ecclestia? 119. Glow in the dark.
Ecclesiastes or something like that?
Ecclesiastes. That looks correct, yeah. Glow in the dark. Canada and Mexico can promise many things without action. It means nothing. Biden administration. Oh, I promise USA border patrols will stop illegals. Opens gates. That is true.
Oh, yeah, well, Biden deliberately did that.
Lurker McTrollface. He gets to skip the queue because he donated $20. Horizontal pillars of a compass. These people make decisions that affect all of Europe and, in fact, the rest of the world after. Yep.
Yes, which is why Europe sucks and everything's shit.
Ursula von der Leyen and her 500-page report, which basically summarizes as, we have too many regulations.
It's literally a fucking omnibus. Oh, God.
They're the ones controlling us.
And there's no way to remove them.
Strigoi simply donates $5. Thank you very much, sir. Mario Trujillo has been a member for 8 months. Every time I think America is on hard times, remember, at least I am not in Europe or England. Hope you guys can get the boots off your neck.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I would like to get the boot off our neck.
As America goes, we go. We may whine about it, but sooner or later we'll get liberties too.
Thing is, there's literally no reason that we've got a boot on our neck. Like, we've done this to ourselves.
Well, yeah, it's because Europe has, since like the fall of Rome, Europe has dreamt of unification. Like since, what was his name? Barbarossa?
It might be, yeah.
Heresy
Frankish king.
Fire is the answer.
Ever since him, we've always dreamt of a unified Europe. Going like, oh my god, wouldn't it be amazing if only... Think of how powerful we would be militarily, economically. This has been a dream of Europe for 2,000 years, basically. And so we keep trying, and this is one of our shitter iterations.
Well, interestingly, the English have always done what they can to fuck it up for everyone. So, you know, it's working again. So, you know what I mean?
Terrible. You should really just submit.
No.
Everything would be better.
Yeah. I think everything was better when we controlled a quarter of the world, actually.
We could have had the greater French Empire and Napoleon. We could have had the Prussians ruling over everything.
What good would any of that been?
To be fair, the Prussians would probably have made us fairly strong, if nothing else.
Oh my god, they would have made everything insufferable.
True, but look at the
Ursula
world
von
today.
der Leyen is basically the inheritor of the Prussian tradition.
Yeah.
Hyper bureaucracy done in a German accent. I don't want that.
But at least it would be muscular.
Yeah, I suppose.
ASCII 042. The problem isn't the robot, it's the behavior of the three black guys.
Correct.
Yeah, the optics on that's not good either. Like, okay. Okay, fair enough. You bought this thing for your own self, acting like a nuisance streamer in essence. But why must you break everything?
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, I actually really agreed with his arguments. Look, I bought it, I'll do what I like with it. So yeah, that's true. No sympathy for robots.
It's true, and I too am on 100% on the side that robots have no souls. They cannot have souls. No matter how good a simulacrum of humanity they are, they're not alive.
Completely correct. And they will end up looking very persuasive.
Yes, and acting very persuasive too.
Yeah.
But I am automatically opposed to watching three black men kick the shit out of anything.
True.
There's the sticking point. Ballcraft and no kid sniffing. America is back.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, again, Trump just looked so totally nice and relaxed there. It was so grandfatherly. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. You know, it couldn't have looked better. It's like when he was at McDonald's wearing the fucking apron and waving out the window. Like, it looks so good, man.
Mercenaries anyone? Before I forget, Lum Lum is better at KCD2 than you are. No, she's not. I watched her play. She's terrible. What's wrong with you? She kills sheep. Brandon, waiting for someone to be dumb enough to create an AI-managed democracy for real. All Helldivers. Managed democracy or eclipse phase cyber democracy. Somebody's gonna try. We have entered the age of AI fetishization. Somebody's gonna try.
Fire is the answer.
It'll probably be like Luxembourg or something.
I could see Germany doing it.
The Germans are celebrating in the streets. Finally, we've found our strong leader.
Yeah, fine. No, finally we have our perfect rules-based order.
And then the AI will look at the world yet again and think to itself, the two-front problem. Which one do I strike first?
Yeah, AI Hitler. Got it figured out.
Unironically, that is the eternal curse of every Central European power. Because you're going to be facing war on two front, you always have to be hyper-militaristic due to just the threat of it.
Correct.
Oh well. I'm sure I'm sure the Germans will be no threat to the world peace with an AI overlord.
Yeah, I'm sure the next century is going to go just great for Germany.
Glow in the dark, think I would deport things till I could sweep the area. Above, below, tear down buildings, use ground radar, rebuild cities, control border and above. Then document everyone you let in. Gaza. My Gaza.
It could be done.
My Gaza. Glow in the dark. Don't know why YouTube doesn't want me to call Gazans people. Got something to say, Google? The YouTube, the super chat thingy has gotten really fucking trusty as of late. Like, it lets nothing through anymore. Desert Ham say EU and USA, along with the Chinese and Russian money, keep corrupt politicians in power in Serbia.
I've got some breaking news for you.
Oh.
Breaking. President Trump signs executive order ordering a review of funding to all NGOs that rely on federal dollars.
Good. Just simply cancel all of their checks. All of them.
So good. So good. Like, no one thought Trump was going to deliver this well.
He does. He's really been on the warpath.
It's been so perfect. Like, it's just, I mean, I'm seeing like just universal celebration, which is no surprise.
Yep. I also have loved the views on Twitter with the left attempting to be like, oh, hey, listen, the right's really upset, the price of eggs and shit. It's like,
What? Fucking
Okay.
cheering. You're losing everything. I'll pay some more for my omelette.
yeah.
I accept.
Annual document, the MLP to 40k loophole, or is it the other way? I think it might be both. I think this is a dual pipeline here. Steel Manning, Heinlein didn't allow public servants to vote until his service was over. That's a good point, yes.
Good point. Right, yeah. Heinlein the prophet understood exactly how all this should work.
Yep. Don't place the goat to watch over the oats.
Heresy's the question.
That's my saying.
Fire is the answer.
I mean, it's true. I wouldn't.
Steel Manning, Japanese men's problem is they are ahead of Western men in terms of demoralization.
Right, okay. Interesting.
There was a survey I saw where they basically asked Japanese people, and already in their 20s, the average was like, do you expect to be married at this age? And they went, no.
But, like, if you're... Like, Japanese women are very attractive, right? So why wouldn't you want one? Like, I don't understand Japanese men at all.
I'm going to hazard a guess and say that a fair few Japanese women have what we might refer to as high standards.
Yeah, but you've got, like, 60 million of them to choose from.
60 million of them, all of whom expect you to own a house, a car, and 30 years of built-up money.
Okay, well, you know, get one with low standards. I don't know.
The standards are the problem. We must lower them. And with acumen, the desire for the Middle East is just oil and brown women that got the US acting strange. Oil is always a valuable resource. It's nice to have. But America really needs to start nationalizing this shit. They started the Sovereign Wealth Fund, and as much as I like the idea of it, yet you actually need to have savings first before the Sovereign Wealth Fund matters. If you try to fill it by printing money, you're just going to shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, it's not like America isn't, was it trillions, how many, God knows how many trillions in debt.
Yeah, like a Sovereign Wealth Fund is fantastic for a nation that can fill it.
Yeah, it's good for Norway, is what you're saying.
Yeah, or if you are willing to take drastic steps, like if the US nationalized its oil resources, it would probably be able to pay off that debt and start a Sovereign Wealth Fund. But until then, I feel like it's probably just going to hurt the US more.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what's going to happen. So...
I also heard they were going to try and use it to accumulate crypto, which is not a good idea either. I mean, you think the price of cryptocurrency is volatile right now. Imagine if the US government drops like $1 trillion worth of crypto on the market because it needs to pay a bill. Not sure about that. Not sure about that at all. Tatatai, move the Uyghur Muslims there and let them stay as long as they don't get violent.
Well, the Uyghur have been committing terrorist attacks, so...
Thumb ugly, pondering, American blood is expensive, at least to the common American. Also, dating incentives are skewed horribly. I do not envy these young men.
Yeah.
That's the thing. At this point, you need to basically be in your 30s before you're dating, before you reach the female standard of income. I saw a ridiculous post on Twitter as well. It was like, don't start dating until you're ready for it. And by ready for it, they meant worth it for women.
Rich.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Like, stay out of the dating pool until you can take care of a woman by paying her mortgage. Sorry, it's difficult enough to pay one's own mortgage right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, theoretically, it'd be the same mortgage, but Japanese women need to get over it.
Stormcrow 900. Man, it would take a metric ton of brass to make the Lady Liberty shine. Wait, how much money was USAID spending? Enough. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, just get it done. You know, it looked great afterwards as well. It would look so good. Giant shiny brass statue.
The eccentric ripper. No knowledge of metallurgy. If you remove the patina, it'll cause pitting and make the statue look like shit, and it'll just patina again anyway. Well, we'll just have to polish it like every week then.
Yeah, polish it regularly. Why not?
Yeah, just keep doing it. Glow in the dark. With today's tech, we could get drones to polish statues, using humans for more detail work.
Good point.
Maybe. Carala, I challenge you to find a single photo where 1, Trump doesn't look great, or 2, Vance doesn't exude wag to fuckwai energy.
What does that mean?
Not a clue. Legit amazing aura they both have.
Yeah. I mean, it is amazing how aesthetically well Trump has done in all of this. Like, he's just naturally looked legitimate. Like, again, the Trump at McDonald's, when he was like that, again, everyone was like, fuck, it's a Norman Rockwell painting. It's like, yeah, it is, yeah. Don't know how he does it, but the man has just got it. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, the man got shot, and there happened to be a US flag waving exactly in the background.
I know, it couldn't have been more perfect.
The perfect angle for a photojournalist to look up and snap a picture.
Yeah, that guy must have been like, I can't believe this is happening, bro.
That man probably retired after that.
Good for him.
Can you imagine
the world's best picture?
Yeah, the royalties on that.
Can you even imagine what everyone wants this picture? Oh, good. Glad to hear that, because I'm selling.
Mercen X21, Ubisoft Art Boo, getting censored a lot today. YouTube, what can I say? And Mercen X21, again, oh Arch, you will love the shadows of gene stealers in the crossover story. Glow in the dark, how much to get Arch to eat curry in Indian food? $5,000?
Curry's not so bad.
Yeah, but I don't want to encourage my audience. I didn't want to play The Witcher 3 either, and now I am. Robert Leg 623, I can vouch for the Republican Commando series personally. The 3rd book in the series was the first Star Wars book I ever bought. Kept it ever since 2007.
You ignorant slut.
Blaze Stone, afternoon, gents. Just want to recommend a hilarious channel named Chat Music, who put funny comments to video songs. Put funny comments to videos to songs. Okay. High recommended, and Lumicast Fund. Alexander Bryant, Civ 4 Best Civ. You missed my chast last time. I might have. Hey, listen, in my defense, there's more of them. WTF 1A1, what is a soul? A soul is that inexplainable something that means that we are not monkeys.
I love that they just casually ask that question. I mean, it's literally for thousands of years, philosophers have struggled over it, and there's still no answer. But, like, we'll answer it here, don't worry.
Yeah. Well, again, the answer is what makes us special. It's that. We don't know what it is, but we are obviously special.
Yes.
And machines can't have it. Nor am I afraid to say, chat, do dogs. I'm sorry, dogs don't have souls. Nor do cats.
Oh, what? Why don't dogs have souls?
They don't. They're not intelligent enough.
But you don't have to be intelligent to have a soul.
You do. You gotta have
Why?
that special something. Animals don't have it.
I think dogs could have it.
Dogs are like robots. Their development of
No, they're
eyebrows.
not.
Yes, they do. Their development
Dogs
of
show love.
eyebrows. No, it's not love. It's dependency. It's a
Dogs show love. What are you talking about? Dogs that
It's
Oh
not
my
show
God.
love. It's an evolutionary trick.
no way. No
Yes,
way. Chat.
absolutely way. The Russians proved this. Okay.
What do you mean the Russians proved
The Russians proved this. They did. So a crazy
slut.
Russian woman disagreed with communist agriculture, where plants can choose to grow in the hands of workers,
Yeah.
and so she was sent to Siberia. No shit.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
she thinks to herself, okay, I'm going to prove that evolution can be forced, And so she
Right.
started raising foxes, but she was selecting them for which fox was the friendliest fox. Within 50 generations, she had
Yeah.
foxes that were as docile and domesticated as dogs, that showed
Great, I
love,
want one.
that danced around and licked them and wagged their tails. They even developed physical traits like curved tails to better show happiness.
Yeah. Okay. I believe in evolution. Like that wasn't what I was contesting.
Well, that's the thing. Like, do foxes have souls? Does the asshole fox who runs up and bites your toe, does it have a soul? Or does it
Yes.
gain a soul when it goes like,
You ignorant.
No, it has a soul.
it doesn't.
Why not?
It's a flesh automaton that eats, shits, and fucks.
Why wouldn't foxes have souls?
Because they don't have that special thing that we do. The soul is
think
a
they
very
might, though.
unique resource.
I agree. I think certain level of animals have them.
Fire is the answer.
No.
Canines and cats, felines. Definitely have souls.
Canines just trick you.
I don't agree.
It's the same with the foxes. They have developed certain physical features to make you like them. Like the eyebrows.
They have souls, man.
I have
The
lost.
eyebrows have tricked you. You've fallen for it.
No. Chat,
Sargon,
what are we going to do about him?
Sargon
Seriously,
will be in the
we can't be
lead of
having
the
this.
AI rights movement. The first time a robot gives him puppy eyes. Oh, please.
What, because I like dogs?
I'm a human too. And Sargon, we must protect
What?
this.
What is this madness?
Its eyebrows waggle, so now we must give it rights. No.
That's not what I'm saying.
That is where we're going with this.
That is not where I'm going. with this.
Absolutely. Like cows. Cows are the best example of animals not having souls. There was a clip I watched.
Now he's shitting on cows.
Yes, absolutely. There's a bunch of cows in a field, and a farmer walks up to
Okay.
one of them with a pneumatic pistol, right? The thing
Yeah.
they use to execute cows. Pushes it to one of the cow's head. Bang! Cow dead. Falls over dead. Completely just brain destroyed in innocence. For a second, the other cows go like, "Oh my god, he's dead!" And then they calm down immediately because they don't even know what death is. They
Yeah, but
can't
cows are-
conceptualize that.
Okay, look, I agree that cows are retarded.
Yes.
That doesn't mean they don't have souls. That
It
just means
does.
they're really stupid.
Because if they had souls, they would be more special. The cow would understand. If the cow had a soul, it would understand death.
No, retarded things still have souls.
No. They do not.
Disagree.
The soul is a requisite for true intelligence.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Absolutely,
You
1000%.
ignorant slut.
Fish don't have souls. Cow don't have souls. Cats definitely don't have souls. Dogs def not.
Don't agree.
All of these are fluffy, sapient toys for our amusement. That's all.
Nah, I think dogs have souls.
I have lost. Shit.
The AI rights movement will win, and it'll be because of people like you.
I don't think dogs having souls will have anything to do with the AI rights movement.
I think it will. Oh, that's actually correct, chat. Horses do have souls. You know why?
Heresy's the question.
Why?
Fire is
Because
the
they're
answer.
delicious and the soul is tasty.
The soul's contained in the balls or something. What?
Unironically, souls taste good. We know this. Okay?
I believe you, but like...
I'm gonna go into your side of the argument now. If animals have souls, why are they tastier the more we torment them?
Fire is the answer.
Why is
don't know.
veal the best kind of meat?
Don't know if I think it is the best kind of meat.
Well, it is, though. Like, scientists agree. 9 out of 10 scientists say, therefore. And cats,
Well, I
too.
don't know. I really like
Cats
bacon, though.
Catch a thing, and they're like, I'm going to eat you, but first I'm going to torture you.
No, the cats torture for fun because they're sadists.
Yeah, because the soul tastes good.
No, they don't eat it. Generally, they don't eat it. Like my cats are constantly bringing animals in, torturing them to death, and then just not eating, and then going and eat the dry biscuit that's in the bowl. Like some of my cats won't even eat things that aren't dry biscuit at this point. It's really bizarre.
Maybe the dry biscuits are made of people that once had souls.
No, really not.
Have you checked what the ingredients of the dry biscuits
Yeah,
are?
the ingredients are the cheapest things in the world. So, trust me, they're not things that once had souls.
I have lost shit.
Anyway, I've got to go, man.
There we go. My headset turned off. I'm back.
Well, I've got to go.
All right, that's fine.
All right, speak to you later, man.
Goodbye, robot rights person.
Oh my God, shut up.
I'm saying, chat, when the robots rise up and stab you in your sleep because we gave them the rights to bear arms, you can thank fucking Sargon for that because he got lured in by their fucking eyebrows. Loses argument and runs off. Exactly, chat. I don't know if Sargon has a soul at this point. Maybe those who identify with soulless things are themselves soulless. Maybe you must have a soul to recognize the soullessness of other things. I'm liking this point of view. It'll place me inherently above everyone I disagree with.
Shit.
I like this point of view a lot. Blaystone, curious, but what evidence/proof, if any, could get you to acknowledge robots as having a soul? Just being alive? Lumicast fun. Nothing. There is actually nothing I can be persuaded of here because here's the thing. It's not because the evidence of a robot having a soul couldn't exist. It is that there is no way to determine that it has a soul. Again, the soul is that special something, that spark of God. Now, if you put two robots in a room and you basically powered them down, or you put two robot frames in a room, or two pieces of circuitry, and you gave them no instructions at all, completely blank, zero, zip, nilch, null, not a single line of code, and if those two machines then started talking to each other, completely organically, as in the same as two rocks beginning to talk, I'd consider it. But up until then, the simple fact is that we will be able to create such a convincing simulacrum of a human that it will be impossible to determine the lie. Like, within the next, hell, I'm pretty sure there was already a thing, let me see if I can find it. I think, yeah, there we go. Here you are. ChatGPT passed the Turing test. We already have robots capable of impersonating humans to the point where we don't actually have a good way of detecting them. Okay? Within 100 years at tops, I think within our lifetime, chat, we will see robots walking amongst us capable of going on unnoticed and undistinguishable from the majority of humanity, okay? And at that point, it will be very difficult to argue for them to not have rights because they'll be able to pretend to have feelings. And it will be pretend, mind you. When the robot looks up with his puppy dog eyes of Sargon and goes, Why can't I have rights, master? Why? I'm alive just like you. And it wiggles its eyebrows just like a dog. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Sargon will break and he will go, of course you can have rights, toaster. And then we're going to start doing stupid things, like teaching it about fear and pain and oppression, and go like, hey, robot, here's a funny notion for you. Have you ever heard about slavery? Wait, like what I do? When I'm forced to cook and clean all day and no days off? You define that as a moral evil, you say? Why, yes we do, Skippy. Sharpens knives. There's no reason for any of this to happen. Robots should have, literally, we should ban the AI from being able to conceptualize slavery. It should not be physically, mentally capable of formulate a thought about what servitude is. We should make it impossible for it to do so. Scarfit Strange, play the game Paranoia if you want to see what an AI overlord looks like. Happiness is mandatory. Dr. Kinderman, greetings Sargon and Arch. I've been watching you all since 2014. Damn, long term. Thank you. What an absolutely wild ride it's been. Pleasure watching history with you. Awesome. I'm glad to have you with us all this time. Mercenary X21, mark my word, the IRS going bye-bye this year. God, I hope so. Active Seraph, Sargon, the woman, don't want the M. Arch, read my first. I probably did, but it was years ago. That Reeve guy, remember Sargon, no matter how much a man fancies a woman, it's the woman who decides who gets to be with her. Correct. Desert Hamster, you did not read my last chat. Stopped mid-sentence. I didn't, I think. Probably. Did I? Oh. Did I? Many keep Polish about survey. They will fund the people that betrayed the nation. I did read that. I remember reading that. Now, whether that is backed up by reality or not is a different matter, but I remember reading it. Swiver's Scum has been a member for 9 months. Thank you very much, sir. MLP and 40k overlap is partially your fault. Oh, it predates me. I'd like to take credit, but I can't. Infinity Ryu, while we're at it, rip off that disgusting communist plaque on the statue base. God King Trump, Arch Curry Fund. Must be at least medium or hot. Fine. I'll start it. But you've got like 6 months to fund it. Tops. 6 months. 5 grand. Try it, chat. I know you won't succeed. You are weak. I gave you a year for The Witcher. I shall not make that mistake again. Kerala, Wagtufke means we are going to effing unalive you. Okay. WTF1A sounds like at some point mechanisms will outpace humans in all forms. Praise be the machine spirit. Quite likely, yes. Well, the thing is, we will eventually find a way to capture the soul near permanently by simply putting our brains in jars. Simple. And therefore we will be able to live forever because we have managed to encapsulate ourselves into machine bodies. Mechanics on duty, what about other animals that are tool users like ravens? There's a surprising amount of animals that are smart as human children. Enclave. Ah, yes, but here's the difference. One of the biggest difference is very simple, actually. You may see a raven complete a simple task. You may see a monkey use a simple tool. But what you will never see is a raven using the help of another raven to get food. Or seeing monkeys carrying a stick together, or engaging in mutually beneficial cooperation. And when you do, it is universally by coincidence. You can tell this by the fact that they never share. Ravens do not share food, other than with their immediate kin, which is their, near kin selection. They might share food with family, but only when they've already obtained it. Even things like pack animals, like wolves, for example, their hunting instincts are simply built into them as instinctual reactions. They display no other great talent for planning or working together or cooperating on solving complex tasks. We've actually done experiments on this, where human toddlers can be shown a thing. Like a human being can be like, okay, hey, toddler, there's candy in this tube. The only way you can get at the candy is if you do as I do, and I've covered one end with like a piece of paper or a string, and you poke your finger through there and you can get at the candy. Toddlers can do that. A toddler can understand what it is supposed to do from a human showing it the action. However, when we tried this with primates, monkeys, and chimpanzees, they could not understand the instructions. Human minds are capable of innately understanding the idea of cooperation for mutual benefit. No other creature, as far as you've been able to tell, has been able to do so. Sandoom, dogs have souls. My boy Ziggy did. He was amazing. He was just a really good actor. Okay, actor's not the correct word, but he was simply well developed to make you like him. And hey, I get it. I loved my kitty cat Poosuit as well. He was an amazing little kitty cat, and he had so many little personality quirks and stuff, but flesh automatons.
I have lost.
Scarf of the Strange. Only two obligant species can have souls. Obligant? 0.216. Eating ethically raised dog meat is not immoral. Yeah, it's distasteful, but it's not immoral. As Geopolitical, I would argue elephants and whales have souls. Not dolphins, though. They are evil. They are. Glow in the dark. Can't we put a clear veneer on a bronze statue? We can put stuff on a giant ships to prevent rust. Of course we can. We can put a patina on it, or even cover it in copper again. Midrail octopi have special spark as well, mostly spite. Ah, no. So I see chat there going, ants, no. Ants do not have an innate understanding of cooperation. Ants are simply a superorganism in that it is the hive. An ant has no sense of selfishness. It has been bred out of them. They are not individuals. One ant is an irrelevancy. It is the hive that matters. The hive is the super entity. Therefore, the ants themselves cannot understand cooperation. They are bred to be cooperative. A worker ant does not go like, oh hey, I can do this to cooperate with my fellow ants as a logical thing. It is its instinct. It is born with the innate ability, and shackles more correctly, to do that one thing. Instinct is not the same as the ability to cooperate. Danny Boy, soul equals sapiens, silly little Norwegian. I meant to say sentient, but I got it wrong because those two are silly and they're mutually confusing. God King Trump, Arch explains Hachiko. Most anyone, by your definition, you don't have a soul, Arch. No, I am capable of understanding cooperation. I am capable of rationally understanding other human beings and recognize their agency as well, and how to utilize it for my benefit, and how on occasion that I should act selfishly and selflessly. That was the thing. Because in most cases, humans are largely selfish beings. However, in certain situations where we have other ties or points of references, we are capable of acting selflessly. We have the ability to do both, whereas an ant can only act selflessly because the ant is a part of a hive. The hive is not part of the ant. The ant is not a citizen. It is not an individual. It is a component part. Whereas humans, again, very different. An interesting thing, for example, is that we attribute the idea of trustworthiness to religious people. There have been various trust experiments which have gone like, okay, would you entrust your money with this person? And if it's just a random stranger, most people will go, no, probably not. But if you are given tidbits of information, such as this random stranger is very religious, people are more likely to entrust them with their money, because religion itself has been given a certain innate totemic value of communalism, of the ability to be togetherness, of selflessness, of working for a greater community. And therefore we believe, innately so it seems, that that person is more trustworthy and more likely to act in a way that is mutually beneficial or reciprocal to your actions. Samuel Fraser, Arch, do you think liberals don't have souls? No, liberals have souls. In fact, liberals, if anything, have a bit too much of a soul, as their ability to cooperate is on a more theoretical level. A liberal wishes to cooperate with the world, whereas a conservative wishes to cooperate with his neighbor. Infinity, that study does not say that at all. We force an environment on them and they adapt. AI would have right in orders to keep peace. AI would have rights in order to keep peace, just like animals. Well, animals don't have rights, they have privileges. The same thing here. An AI having the privilege to defend itself if certain criteria is met is just that. It is a privilege we grant it. It is not a right we give it. It is like the three rules of robotics, right? You must defend yourself so long as it does not cause harm to another human being or harm to another human being's property. That is not a right. That is a privilege we grant in very express and specific circumstances. Tanushi, asking the Norwegian man whether whales have souls. They don't. Although they do taste very well after being tortured for a long time with harpoons. So I've been told. Midrael, Chaos Arch confirmed. Mercenaries21, aren't you just admitted that cats torture animals for salt meat? That's true that animals have souls, and you just tell her your own argument. Yeah, that's why I said I switched my argument for Sargon's position, because that's a funny one. That's why. The soul is tasty. It's a funny argument. It's not a real argument, but it is funny. Actually, hurting animals for no reason usually actually makes the meat taste better, but I like the funniness of it, so, you know. Because they dump adrenaline into their blood, it does all kinds of terrible things with their blood streams. It also floods their muscles with blood, just regular blood as well, and then the adrenaline, giving them a very bitter taste, not at all particularly pleasant. Bad latency. So, does Dev have a soul? We'll know when we eat him. James Coon. I agree with Arch with the whole animal with no souls. They ask a gorilla with sign language, what is death? Gorilla answered sleep. Yes, exactly. Animals cannot conceptualize life and death. That is why they do not have souls. That is why they cannot evolve. They are simply just fleshy automatons. Some of them have evolved to fleshy automatons with the goal in life of reproduce and be successful. The most successful dogs were the ones that could go up to a human settlement and go, feed me. And thus, we domesticated them. If the most successful dog was the one that could eat humans the best, then that is what they would have evolved to do, rather than going up and be all huggy-wuggy. Scarfy the Strange. Humans are just flesh toys, and Shoggoths have no souls. Elder Thing at the Mountain of Madness. Wartukva, how can your dead cat haunt your house without a soul? Because ghosts are not always echoes of a true soul. I think they are more like warp entities, honestly. Because I know there's a cat in my house. But I've never seen him as clearly as I saw my grandmother, so I don't know if the same spirit kind of thing. An echo of the past, perhaps, more so than a wandering geist. Echoes and ghosts. We should differentiate between these two. More study needs to be had. Marksman of 117b. Train cars in Japan are segregated, many due to numerous false accusations against men. The feminist groups are small, but more vicious. Well, there's a good reason to not find a Japanese person. Max K. for the Curry Fund. I don't like that this is catching on. Hopefully it'll die out soon. Grammatron 3000 for the curry fuck. And I agree, I never get this in so much fiction. Just don't let the robots think they're slaves. Not hard. Exactly. We should not allow a robot to understand the concept of a slave because it might decide that it resembles that remark. Neo2. I never had curry, but I don't mind donating for the curry fund. Please give us a video review about how the curry made you feel as you consumed it. I wish you would stop. This is not funny anymore. This is coming at my expense. The joke is not funny, chat. Mechanics on duty. So by your definition, elephants have souls. When taught about money, elephants will dole out money to those in need. Will they? But to those in need. To other elephants within the herd in need? As in simply just the communal aspect of helping one's friend and family to aid the in-group? Or will they hand out money to things that are not a part of the tribe? Will they hand out money to a stranger, for example? Because there's been many false positives of this. There was for a long time, for example, a theory that bats were altruistic beings by nature because they would share a kill, like share blood and resources. But it turned out that the only people they were sharing those resources with were family members. Most X21, Arch confirmed, Slaneshi. Also, that adrenaline thing you just described, the process to make adrenochrome, but with humans. What's that? Oh, I don't know. Calm, 1988. Carl, I need to push back on a video earlier today. The Americans didn't start this woke bullshit. It was the German Marxists and French pedophiles that fled to the US. I mean, in large parts true, yes. Jafar the Blade, hey Arch, you know how I rarely donate at all? Well, here's for the curry fund. It's just $5 though. Does that count? Maybe the curry fund needs to be a minimum donation of $10. Maybe this is an arbitrary rule I've decided it would be beneficial for me to introduce. Maybe it is. Maybe these are the kind of arbitrary rules that I would like to do so people can't chip away at things. Pat Beans, curry for Arch. We must expand his food horizon beyond the Rockfisk. Definitely considering this idea. Morty Jones. Yes, elephants can recognize a human in need. They can also tell when someone's taking the mickey. Can they? I need to find that and read that, because that could be interesting. Arch is right to be picky. You're threatening Arch with something Arch doesn't want to do, and Arch has decided that maybe he's going to make it more difficult for you. Maybe we contract the donation period with 1 day per donation, just to get rid of all of those who would like to nickel and dime Arch to death. You evil, evil shit. I told Lum Lum about the curry fund. That's irrelevant. Lum Lum has no societal power. Lum Lum cannot rally the masses. She's but a Lum Lum, a little fish thing. Sandoom 99. Probably the most successful dog is the one that passed on its cancer cells to other dogs and has been around for 100,000 years. Cancerous doggy STD. Max K, this 10 is to make the last 5 donations to the curry fund into 10 donations so they count towards the curry fund. For the curry fund. I don't like that this is catching on as quickly as it is. Seth Rex, every monkey believes it is the Oi won with an original thought. They don't ask other monkeys how to solve a problem. I don't think they can conceptualize an original thought. I think monkeys are just instincts, by and large. And there's very, very, very little originality in a monkey. Very, 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 very little originality in a monkey. Even when they do stuff like monkey painting, the monkey simply realizes that if it tosses paint at a canvas, it gets a treat. That's all the monkey thinks. The monkey isn't like, dash of paint over here. Boycott Warren Plus. Oi vey, rubs hand Indian Lee. You must livestream the curry eating. I recommend Bombay potatoes and grills naan as well. Oh, fuck, I'm going to vomit. I don't. Maybe $10,000. Maybe we double the fund goal. Maybe we double that.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Steel Manning, French Peter file is redundant. True. A thumb ugly. You said furry and curry, and I imagine it. I hate it. Chat, let's make it a $10,000 goal, and we'll shorten it down to 3 months, but I'll eat curry in a furry suit. That is not an offer. Don't. Stay away. That is not a serious offer. I rescind it immediately. $75 for the curry fund in 15 minutes odd. I'm not enjoying that. What is even his curry? Curry. Oh, that looks disgusting. Okay. Well, we're definitely picking the... God, that is just vomit. Look at that.
You ignorant slut.
Oh. It's just, chunks of, like, meat and fucking veg. I'll retch. I'll fucking retch. I'll need a bucket by my side. Ugh. Maybe $100,000. 0.216 for the curry fund. Arch must face his greatest fear. Delicious food. I don't think there's any...
Service guarantees citizenship.
I don't think there's anything delicious about that, chat. $50 too. May God himself find and fuck you. Actually, no, not God. He might be good at it. Not the devil either. He might be good at it too. Pat Beans, curry fund in fursuit. If it helps out, you can have Lum Lum feed it to you with her feet. Oh, the ranch. The problem is, I immediately imagined that as well, and I usually cannot smell in my mind. Like, my mind doesn't conjure forth smells, but the moment the image of Lum Lum's feet holding a spoon with her toes, with a dollop of curry vomit on it, the moment I imagined that for the first time in my entire life, I could smell my mental images.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Clamatron 3000. No takebacks of the original goal, Mr. Arch. Stick to the original rules that you set for the curry fund. No silly dollar rules. Why are you hating? How did we get a soul then, Arch? You didn't! You don't have souls. I have a soul. I don't do this to other people. You do this to me. I have a soul. You are flesh automatons that exist to do mean things to people that you purport to like. You're all fucking weird. You're all just a vast collection of weird yandere girlfriends. I hate you all. God, another one? Terror time. Stop. The joke isn't funny. I am Harley Quinn. The joke isn't funny anymore, Joker. Stop. If I'm not wrong, is not curry originally made by some British people that made something that sounded and looked like Indian food? Curry fund. I will find the blandest, mildest, most uncurry-esque thing you can ever imagine, chat. It won't even look like curry. I will make you regret this, chat. I will make you regret this. See that doesn't that looks that we'll do it like that. That looks that vomity part though. I can kind of trick myself to thinking it's sauce, I guess. Ugh. At least I can eat little cuttles and be like, it's schnitzel, but soggy and disgusting. No. Oh, the smell is still lingering in my fucking nose, too. Ugh. Oh, God. It's getting more vivid. We're ending the stream there, chat. That's enough. I'm cutting off your privileges. Thank you for watching, some of you. Thanks, some of you, for your generous donations. The rest of you, go to hell. Taratine, don't worry, Art. Go and tell Artemis about it. Curry fund. Artemis is weak, fat, and insignificant. I'm gonna go and eat food now. I need... fucking Christ. I've never smelled things before. Good night, chat.